All right. So today we have the Tesla delivery numbers coming out today. Nvidia is still under 900s. Yeah, I'm looking up the Tesla. Tesla sold 89,064 China-made electric vehicles in March, up 0.2% year over year. All right, we have the Jolts. All right. All right. Yeah, so it's reporting fresh delivery numbers today for Tesla. Tesla shares are down about 1.4% in pre-market at about 172. S&P futures are down as well. Nasdaq Composite is down about 0.1%. All right. I don't see the delivery numbers today, but I do see the Chinese numbers. I'm not sure how those numbers are out. All right, so expectations for these delivery numbers are at Wall Street currently expects quarter one deliveries of 457,000 units, according to FactSet. It started last week at 471 and has dropped ahead of the announcing global delivery figures. And we also have China made. We'll put the expected number up here. Again, we do have Tesla sold 89,000 China-made vehicles. Tesla shipped. Again, we're looking at how much they actually shipped. Or they sold, I mean, roughly 89,000. Trying to get this number up on screen. 89.6. China made EVs in March. All right, so here is basically the expectations. Nvidia under 89. Yeah, let me get some music on chat. Hold on. Uh, 9 a.m. is when they're scheduled. And again, they're expecting 457,000 units according to FactSet. This number's dropped from 471,000 ahead of these numbers. They've been dropping over the last couple days. These include several analyst forecasts that haven't been updated in a couple weeks or months. Predictions appear to be more so around 422,875 from quarter one. They hit a record 484,507 deliveries in quarter four of 2023. The previously quarter delivery record was in quarter two with 466. So the number to beat would be 484, which is the record number for Tesla deliveries. Tesla announced Friday it had 6 million cars produced. But yeah, the numbers are expected to drop today. We'll see when. Watch Tesla for volatility. See Tesla on the right side here. See what it looks like. Let me drink some coffee. I feel good this morning, man. It's like the best I felt. Yesterday I was nauseous, man. Today I feel better. Coffee. All right. So, what's up, Easy Mike? Like I said, I wouldn't be shocked if it was in the 300K zone. Maybe. What's up, Sam? I don't see the deliveries out yet. Not on my end. Not unless there's somewhere where, I mean, like I'm looking. Yeah, they're not out yet. The last Tesla production and delivery vehicle report showed up on the 2nd. Wait, is there a webcast? Oh no, this is just a fiscal year update. Okay, yeah, I was about to say. But yeah, these ain't out yet. Nvidia under 900 is kind of a flat day in markets, though. All right, chat. So, Tesla delivery numbers. 9 a.m. is when they're scheduled to drop. We would see big volatility if they were out already, so they're not out. We would see big volatility if they were. So, yeah, they're not out. Yeah, Jay. Let's not put out a bunch of fake percentages to confuse new traders, man. Appreciate it. 90+% of day traders actually lose. So whoever put out 65% of them win or whatever just doesn't understand day trading. You know, most day traders lose. 90+% of them, in fact. And so, yeah, you got to understand that. To be honest, that's just the truth behind it. Most day traders lose, and I'm not gonna lie to people just to, whatever. Most day traders lose. It's just the reality. All right, chat. Let's see what else we got. I'm trying out different let's see what we got. That looks good. No. Nope. Nope. No, it's not gonna work either. Yeah, so Tesla delivery numbers drop. Again, a lot of people are nervous about these numbers because essentially, um, essentially they've been lowering the expectation for these numbers a lot. Um, so these numbers have been lowered. The expectation for them has been lowered a lot, and so people are worried. You know, the expected numbers, as you can see on the screen, are about 457, but experts are expecting a little bit lower than that actually. So they're actually expecting these numbers to dip some here, you know. So we'll see what that looks like, but yeah, they're expecting lower numbers. So just be careful. Wonder the Jolts report also comes up early as well. We'll see what that looks like. Yeah, so again, that's what everybody's expecting. Impact says, "What's up, John? Tesla deliveries will be a bit less." Yeah, that's what almost everybody's expecting. You know, the expected number is 457. They're now expecting around 422s. Brokers in Europe publish that 90% of day traders lose money. Yeah, for sure. That's why I'm trying to tell people the truth. Like, I don't want somebody in here acting like it's easier than it is. You know. Yeah, that's rough, Pawn. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I haven't really been watching the weather too close, but I hope you're doing all right, bro. Yeah, so Tesla delivery numbers are supposed to be right around 9 a.m. They're supposed to be around 9 a.m. We'll see what that looks like, but yeah, Tesla produced 6 million vehicles. Ives predicts Tesla deliveries around 426. They've dealt with issues surrounding their Model 3 Highland upgrade in the U.S., slowing sales in Europe. He said, quote, "The biggest and most concerning issue, though, for Tesla is China, as rising EV competition and lingering price war has made this key market very challenging for them over the last year and especially this quarter." Ives wrote, quote, that it won't be a moment of celebration for the bulls and instead be a rip the band-aid quarter for Tesla investors. Morgan Stanley, Adam Jonas, another Tesla bull, cut his quarter one delivery estimates as well down to 425s from 469K on Wednesday of last week. He also lowered his full year delivery forecast to 1.95 mil. So yeah, a lot of people are cutting their forecast for these deliveries. And again, personally, since I'm in Tesla and I've been in Tesla, I hope it rips up in everybody's face. But that's not the biggest expectation, I think, you know. We'll see what the market looks like today. Yesterday we had a slightly flat day, you know, market was down, but not the most, you know. I saw some insider on X at 410. Yeah, maybe. All right, so we're gonna do a Twitter poll as well. We should also do a regular poll, I think, also here, chat, right? We're going to do a poll here as well, and we're going to say, does Tesla deliveries come in higher or lower? We're gonna give it 450K. Higher or lower than 450K. So vote on that poll. Let me know what you guys think. Any news on this drop here? No, it's still pretty low liquid, bro. So like there's not really much liquidity here. It's still just it's kind of going down slowly with low liquidity. All right, I'm gonna have to mute the music for a second. I gotta watch something somebody sent me. Here, hold on. Let's see. All right, chat, we're back. Had to mute it for a second. I'm pretty sure it's 9 a.m. Eastern, but I don't know for sure. I'm pretty sure it was 9 a.m. Eastern. Let me see if I can find the last one. All right, so this last one dropped. I'm pretty sure it's 9 a.m. Eastern, but y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure it's 9 a.m. Eastern, no? Tesla deliveries 420. It's a big release here for Tesla. You know, we got almost 200 people already, and it's not even 7 a.m. yet. I'm trying to see what time they release. I'm pretty sure it's 9 a.m. Eastern. All right, well, good luck, Easy Mike. What's up, Beach? Maybe lower because Elon did announce the 6 million car thing like a consolation prize. Still impressive, but they might not hit a higher number of sales this time. Yeah, Eastern. That's what I was thinking as well. I'm pretty sure it's Eastern. One of the great challenges of life is knowing enough to think you're right, but not knowing enough to know you're wrong. Yeah. Dunning-Kruger effect is essentially what that is, you know. Which the Dunning-Kruger effect essentially means that you know enough to boost your ego, but you don't know enough to realize how little you know. And that people with more experience, typically realize they know less and they have so much to learn versus somebody that might be relatively new, that's just getting started, that thinks he's just the greatest, he's going to be a savant, expert, guru, you know. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're going to care more about margins always. Yeah, the halving's coming up soon in the next couple months. They need to focus on margins going forward if they want the stock back up, which I think they will, which is why Tesla's raising prices. Yeah, Tesla at 172 has been an interesting, you know, it's been mostly sideways since last Friday, Tesla. So yeah. Yeah, I heard it was 420 as well. Let me know if we get any lag. If we do, I'm going to switch it out to an Ethernet cord. MU is interesting. It's moved up a lot in the microchip run, and it's been really strong the last 3 or 4 days. If we look at MU gapping up a lot. Here's a 20-day chart, but really look at the last few days. Big upward movements, up to 125. So MU's doing well also. Somehow my mic unplugged. We plugged it back in. We should be good. Yeah, we're good. Did it really? Alright, well here, I'm going to plug my Ethernet cord in. It might kind of cause like a little jump to the stream. Hold on one second, guys. Alright, so again, we are putting in our Ethernet cord here. Oh, forgive me, guys. We're kind of running it back. Again, it might cause a little jump to the stream, but we should be good. Oh, no. Dropping it. Ugh. Alright, chat. Again, it might cause a little jump to the stream, okay? And then once this is in, we'll disconnect our Wi-Fi. Alright. Well, they're different companies, Richard. They produce different things. MU is mostly memory. What's up, Roger? What's up, On? All that is a smaller version of QQQ as of to do the opposite. Okay, I was looking to pick up some options today. Do you know a site where I can check out the most options that are being traded? No, not really. One hour before opening, right? Nah, we got like a couple hours, really. I'm going to put a timer up for the delivery numbers. In fact, that's probably a good idea. I don't think I've done that yet. The timer's up here. 9 a.m. It's 7 a.m. So we got about 2 hours and really about 7 minutes. So this is when the delivery numbers drop. 9 a.m. About 2 hours from now. Okay, we're gonna disconnect our Wi-Fi. It may kind of jump for a second, guys. It should be fine though. So. There we go. Again, it might lag a little bit. It should be okay. Like, we're going to straight Ethernet core. There we go. So now we're good. So again, it might have lagged for a second. We're back. Yeah, TQQ is just a cheaper version of the Q. They're all ETFs, right? So it's like, kind of think of like the Bitcoin ETF where you got all these different things, all these different ones, all these different big firms creating their own versions. TQQ is like a smaller NASDAQ 100 ETF. So it tracks the NASDAQ 100. You know, it tracks, or I think this one technically tracks the QQQ ETF, right? But they're both of these track the NASDAQ 100. Yeah, I see Caitlin Clark's getting some money potentially, and I'm for that. I think they should. You know, I think somebody offered Caitlin Clark, like, what was it, $5 million to stay in college for another year. Current job offers for Caitlin Clark. Or no, the Big Three. I mean, I'm sorry. Ice Cube offered her $5 million to play 10 games in the Big Three. Dave Portnoy offered her $10 million to play on the Barstool intramural team. Or she can make $76,000 to play a 40-game season in the WNBA. I know my choice. I see the Astros played the Jays last night. Yeah. Let's see how we did. Yeah, Christian Javier pitching, it looks like. Tucker hitting the homer. Again, we'll see what happens with Tesla delivery numbers here, chat. Again, Tesla down. You know, they're expecting 420s is what they're expecting for delivery numbers. Like, a lot of people are expecting like 425. And so I think if we come in at like 450, the market's going to react very positively, you know. All right, and again, the SPY down to 521s here. We can put up the Q. Q down as well, 443s. Let's see Apple. Apple's mostly flat. Microsoft, Meta, mostly flat over the last few days. AMD down a little bit today. Google pulling back some also. But again, obviously, NVIDIA still running up. Here's the Q. Did the SPY ever end up breaking lifetime highs? I don't think it did, right? It got close. Yeah, so the SPY didn't end up breaking lifetime highs yesterday, unfortunately. So, and again, the delivery numbers are scheduled for 9 a.m. No, it looks like the Astros got this. Yeah, so I think the whole market might be waiting on Tesla deliveries. Tesla deliveries are such a big release that everybody's going to be kind of watching them. Again, the other big thing that Tesla deliveries is kind of overshadowing early this morning is the Jolts report. The Jolts job report is not a small release. It's a big release. It comes out every year. This is a big release. And so we got the Jolts, or every month. The Jolts report shows up today. This will be an interesting look at jobs, right? So jobs are something that have been really polarized for the Fed and the, Powell and the market in general, really, because jobs are good and bad. More jobs is obviously good for economic growth, for recession and depression fears and all that stuff. But more jobs can also be worse and a contributing factor to inflation. The Jolts report is expected to show up at 8.76 million, which is actually lower than last time. Last time it came in at 8.863 million. So, last time the Jolts report came in lower than expected, or this time expecting it to come in lower than last time. And that's an optimistic good sign. But again, generally it's more jobs is better, but I don't think we're necessarily there right now. And I think last time we didn't show that either. I think last time more jobs equaled bearish action. The job report was too hot. The market didn't like it at all, and ultimately ended up reacting negatively to the job report numbers. Wait, have the Blue Jays hit the ball yet? Okay, so yeah, it was a no-hitter. Dude, I thought it was, bro. I thought it was a no-hitter. So the Astros hit a no-hitter against the Blue Jays yesterday. I missed it, but man, I thought it was a no-hitter. I'm sitting here watching it. I'm like, hey, the Blue Jays haven't gotten a hit yet. So, hey, shout out to that new pitcher, Blanco. If I were Buffett, I'd still trade and invest daily. Nah. You know, I think you got to understand, like, with that much money, you know, like with that much money, it really is something where you don't need to. You just don't need to. Like, you don't need to trade, invest if you got billions and billions of dollars. You know, like, you just don't need to. Did we have mortgage rates come out? Yeah, so no. But yeah, if you got billions and would you? Here's a question for Chad: if you had $1 billion, would you trade the stock market? I wouldn't, bro. I'd sleep in every day, freaking eat lobster, you know. I would trade for the fun of it, love it. Why market dumped? Yeah, so Tesla pulled back a little bit. I don't think it's the delivery numbers, though. Could be some of the other news. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I would trade. This becomes a sport, you would be a whale. Maybe. I get it. But, like, I also think it's a different feeling, man. You know, like if I won the lottery for 500 mil, then you're not about to see me, you know. I might like stream just for the hell of it, you know, just to troll people, you know, and throw money around a little bit on everybody, but yeah. No, I'm talking about if I was a billionaire, chat. If I was a billionaire, would you trade? You know, I don't know, man. All right, guys. Again, we got delivery numbers coming out today. If I won 500 mil, I'm moving to Thailand or somewhere. Cost of living is cheap. Yeah, but I mean, Rick, you know, like $500 million is plenty. You could live in the most expensive part of the United States and never run out of money, brother. Like you got to understand. Like, again, I do this sometimes as well, but I'll do it again. If you win $500 million, right? And again, I'm going to say it again. You always freaking take the lump sum. You win the lottery, you always take the lump sum. You never take the monthly payments. You always take the lump sum. The monthly payments, the lottery is hoping you're dumb enough to take the monthly installments, right? The reason you should take it is like, say you win what, 220 million, you know, after taking the lump sum. If you just put half of this in bonds right now, and guaranteed bonds, right? Guaranteed 10-year bonds right now, they're paying 4.3%. So if you just put this in guaranteed bond payments right now, you're going to make about $10 million a year. About $10 million a year in bond payments. And then at the end of that 10-year period, you're going to have made $95 million, right? in a 10-year period, and then at the end of that 10-year period, you're gonna get your money back. And so they're hoping you're dumb enough to take the monthly installments, because they're gonna do this same exact thing. Like, they could just buy bonds and sit on it, and again make half of what it was anyway. So this is why, like, they're gonna throw some crazy big number and act like you're just losing so much if you take the lump sum. But again, you're not. You just stick half of this in bonds. And then you could live off the rest. You could literally do whatever you wanted with the other, with the other money. $9 a.m. is when Tesla delivery numbers drop. 9 a.m. Yeah, throw some money in dividends. You put half of this in the S&P 500, right? You put 110 million in the S&P 500 or whatever. And again, we look at hold on. 10% interest rate yearly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 years, you're gonna have about 300 million. So yeah, they're hoping you're dumb enough to take the monthly payments. But my point, the overarching point I'm trying to make, is that you get hundreds of millions of dollars, you're set for life. As long as you're not dumb financially. Like, as long as you don't make dumb decisions financially, you're good for life. Like, you don't ever have to worry. You can live wherever you want. You could live in freaking Beverly Hills and be good. Yeah, what do you guys expect for deliveries? A lot of people are expecting low fours for deliveries. The original estimate was 465K. A lot of people are expecting much lower, like 420s, 425,000 is what I see a lot of people expecting. I mean, you can live pretty comfortably for 30 to 50K a year in Texas or Louisiana or Florida. 30 to 50 a year, you're going to get, like, you'll be able to live decently. I mean, are you going to live in luxury? No, but, $481, take a picture of this number. What happened to that rate cut that you predicted, bro? I just got to troll you a little bit. It's all good. Man, they got this hypersonic sled traveling at almost 7,000. Sheesh. Yeah, the LSU baseball team's not as good this year. Jeff Clark, the gold advisor, saying, after much consideration, I've decided to sell my gold, silver, and mining stocks. I don't need financial insurance. Silver will never break out, and sentiment and juniors will never come back. I'll just invest in the S&P and bonds. Yeah, I mean, I feel you. I mean, the S&P and bonds is a pretty safe betting strategy. Now I believe in diversification, just in case ish happens. But I still think that that's not a bad move. In bonds and the S&P is usually an all right move. Yeah, bonds are spiking up today too. Or yesterday they were spiking up a little bit. Calls or puts for Tesla, I don't know, man. My grandpa told me, son, silver is a hedge against hyperinflation. I mean, it is. So is gold. I mean, they're all hedges against inflation. Listen, S&P 500 is a hedge against inflation. The Nasdaq's a hedge against inflation. Gold, a hedge against inflation. Real estate is a hedge against inflation. It's all hedges against inflation. That's what the market is. That's what investing in general is keeping up with inflation to a certain extent. Now, some move more. Some have more of a correlation with inflation than others, but they all are ultimately hedging against inflation. Even mortgages, at least historically, were hedges against inflation. I mean, right now interest rates are super high because, again, the Fed has been in a period of quantitative tightening where they are trying to keep interest rates high. They raised the federal funds rate. Now they're pausing the federal funds rate, and so they're trying to keep interest rates high, and they have been, so that people stop spending as much. Which is, again, I talk about this every day. It's why, okay, look, Tesla just spiked, and now they're back down. Let me see if these are actual numbers coming out here. Hold on. All right, Elon Musk's Tesla is Austin's biggest private employer. Tesla could regain title of world's biggest EV company after rival sales slip. Yeah, I don't see any news for Tesla here, and I don't see the actual delivery numbers out. This might be just another news story popping this up. If we look at the actual Tesla site here, they're not out yet. Again, you can look at the Tesla site. I'll report these as soon as they happen, but they're not out yet. But Tesla spiked up a little bit. Less people got them early, which I can check. Yeah, they're not out yet. Yeah, I mean, certain people are definitely going to know early. Call me crazy. I feel like shorts are probably known and they're about to get caught. Maybe. Now you got me Googling. Ooh. That she was. Honestly, Matthew. I Googled it just now. She was. She wasn't ugly. That's for sure. Here's young Kathy Wood. Please keep your comments respectful, chat. All right. Young Kathy Wood. Please keep your comments respectful. I mean, she's pretty. 9 a.m. Eastern, Robert. Jolts comes out at 10 and yeah, Jolts comes out at 10 a.m. I would. The comment of the day, Sam. The comment of the day, bro. I mean, personally, I'm married, so out of respect for my wife, I'm not going to comment on that. But she's pretty, Tesla numbers are going to come in bad today at 329,000. I don't know if they're going to come in that low, brother. I think if they come in that low, Tesla's going to big dump, so just be careful. Adam Aaron. Did he change his name to Adam Arno? Oh, this is a parody account. Okay, I was about to say. Where's AMC at? Is it really down to threes? Ooh. AMC, guys, what's happening, bro? Listen. Yeah, I think Tesla's a long-term play, though. Like, listen, I'm not in any, I don't have any delusions of grandeur about short-term Tesla price action. I think long-term they're going to be fine because long-term they're obviously going to be competitive with EVs. Number two is that they're also on the forefront of FSD, and I think that over time will be their big moneymaker, I think, in my opinion. Oh yeah, I know. They announced the $250 million offering. I'm in AMC, but I just looked at it for the first time in a while. I'm not super worried about it. Again, I'm green. I'm very green on the year. Even if AMC went to 0, I'd still be green on the year. So, yeah, I believe full FSD, or I think FSD is going to be the big like momentum bringer for Tesla. But again, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Still waiting for Tesla delivery numbers to come out, you know. Yeah, we got Tesla deliveries, Jolts coming out today, guys, so be ready. Eastern Standard Time, chat. No, I don't have a Tesla. In Dubai, a SIM card with a unique phone number was sold for 3.2 million AED, which is about $900,000, bro. Bro, there's so much money in Dubai. You gotta envy them a little bit, man. They're just balling over there, dude. They are just super wealthy. You know, you hear like supercars are so common in Dubai. The problem is that it's almost like it's almost not even worth it because, you know, okay, so like imagine most people, they can say whatever they want. They could be like, "Oh, I'm a car guy. I love cars." Most people are buying supercars so they can turn heads, right? Not just to turn heads, but like that's certainly a big percentage of why they get one is that they can flex on people with it. I mean, that's understandable. I think anybody that's trying to pretend like they don't want to do that, it's just kind of lying to try to seem self-righteous or whatever it is. But I think most honest people are going to say they're going to get a supercar to flex on people with. At least one of the reasons, right? The other reason is to drive a really famous supercar, of course. And I'm sure we're going to have people be like, "Nuh-uh, I don't want to flex on anybody." Cut the crap, all right? Anyways, in Dubai, they're so common, it's almost like it's not even like nobody's going to bat an eye. You could drive a freaking, you know, McLaren down the street and nobody's really going to care either way, I think. And I think that makes it almost not worth it, you know? Like if you can't turn heads with your $300,000, $400,000 supercar, then, you know, a huge part of the point is taken away, you know? They're spending $900K on a phone number, and I get it. Like if it's an easy phone number, it might be worth it, but yeah. Is crypto still dropping a lot? Let me see. Yeah, Bitcoin down to 65,000, 65K. Good morning, John. And all Tesla is facing lots of production in overseas, and BYD is eating their launch outside of U.S. and opening plants. Yeah. What is Tesla? I don't know. What is Tesla? Our society is turning into status-driven. I mean, it already has. It's been that way, man. Like, that's human nature, right? Like, the hunter-gatherers, the biggest, baddest, caveman, or for lack of a better word, had high status. Everybody wanted to be him. He got the most ladies. Like, that's human nature, Now we're just seeing it played out with technology. Retail won't be interested until after this forum hits the news. Yeah, maybe. All right, we still got about an hour and a half until Tesla delivery numbers are slated to drop. Again, we don't know what they're going to show up as when they do get dropped, but still. I'm getting... What are you in right now, X? To where you're getting beat up that much, bro? I'm in my 30s. Ash. Nvidia is still at 895, so it's under 900 bucks, and it's been consolidating there for a while. Crypto mining, yeah, but I mean, we're leading up to the halving, so your crypto miners are probably gonna go down some. You know what I mean? Like we're leading close to cutting mining profits in half, brother. So of course your crypto miners are probably dropping. I mean, that's not a surprise. I think Bitcoin's down as well, so it's not helping either. But again, typically a lot of people are expecting dips ahead of the halving. So just be careful, especially if you're playing crypto right now. I'm a bull in crypto, but I also think short term, you could certainly get volatility. Top 3 in the world, easy. Yeah, MicroStrategy, I think, does easy, Mike. Maybe, MicroStrategy hit almost 2,000, got down to 16s though. What about Reddit? Did Reddit ever bounce back? Nope. Dude, I'm telling you though, bro. I've been looking at my little indicator here for my strict reversal, and it's pretty impressive. Like, look, like I'm just kind of looking at like Reddit here, calling literal bottoms here. Look at this. Strict reversal, beautiful bounce back. This little reversal indicator, it works fairly well. Catching bottoms. This one didn't work. Let me see. I wonder what the risk reward is, though. Look at that one. See? Same thing. Look at this. Literal calls the bottom. Look at that. It's impressive. I'm going to keep building this, I think. Look at that. Called the bottom. Follow through bounce. AMD. Let's take a look at AMD. Look. Called the bottom. Bounce. It doesn't show up a lot, but like, look at this. Look. Not bad. Look, another one. Literally called the bottom in the price action of the day. Same thing here. I mean, this one, we got a little bit of a follow through, but it's not like bad. Let's see. Look, another one called the bottom, follow through. I'll have to go back and look at this code. That one didn't work. That one's probably neutral. It bounced back a little bit. It got up to here. you know. This one got the bottom, follow through. This one got the bottom, follow through. This one got the bottom, follow through. So I only saw like one of these that didn't work out of all of them. So again, I'll have to keep checking this. Tesla's starting to move up a little bit though. Tesla at 173.80s. You know, we're still looking at Nvidia. Make sure the site, check the site. Yeah, it's still not out. Yeah, so the last time they produced approximately 495,000 vehicles, and deliveries grew 38% year over year to 1.81 million. Production grew 35% year over year. Delivery showed up at 484,000. So I think that was record breaking last time, but we'll see what happens this time, you know. I appreciate it. Hey, what's up, Freddie? Is the deliveries based on delivered cars from manufacturing? Sales to customers, I'm pretty sure, Ruben. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, though. What do you think of bonds shooting up? I saw that. If you look at 10-year bonds. Man, what's the symbol for 10-year bonds? Is it TNX? I forgot what it was. Yeah, TNX. So yeah, bonds have been shooting up. I mean, they shot up yesterday. They got up to 4.32%. See if it continues to rip. We'll start trading a little bit today too. Data yesterday shot it up with the dollar, yeah, for sure. GameStop currently at 12. So GameStop's still down a lot from their earnings that came out. Renting is now cheaper than owning in all of America's 50 biggest metro areas. Not a surprise. Somebody said if you make $60K a year at $30 an hour with a bachelor's degree, you're only making 50% more than a 14-year-old fast food worker in Cali. You spent $120K in 4 years of your life to make 50% more than a 14-year-old with no skills. I mean, yeah, listen. 50% more is a significant amount, right? Like, acting like 50% is a small percentage is silly. You know what I mean? It's also like you can isolate different places. Like, okay, in New York, okay, if you make $100K a year in Texas, you're going to be living good, right? Like, you're going to be living fairly well. You could buy a pretty nice house. You could qualify for a good mortgage. And so 100K a year in Texas is way different than 100K in Cali. 100K in Cali is probably like lower than average, I would assume, right? But in Texas, you make 100K a year, you're loving life, you know. And so I think it depends on where it is. There's also pros and cons. Like in Cali, you might make, you know, you might earn more per job, right? But the cost of living is way higher. So it's going to compensate for that and be about break even, you know, and that's the point, right? Like, so it costs way more to live in Cali than it does in Texas. And so you make more in Cali than you do in Texas, right? And that's an understandable thing. What's up, Daphne? I'm all for people being able to make a living wage at lower end jobs. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think I'm for it too. But I also don't think we should complain. I think some jobs are entry level jobs. Like a fast food worker is not, it's meant for teenagers mostly. Like it's not meant for adults to like work there their whole life, you know? So like people that are working there their whole life and then complaining about not being able to feed a family with it is not really the most reasonable thing, because again, it's not meant for that. You know, you gotta, again, any job you get, right? Any job you get, you have to shop around. You know, the people who end up making the most out of their careers are people who leverage other jobs, right? So they work at a certain job. After a few years, they put their resume out at other jobs and try to get a higher salary. If they do, they go to their current employer and they say, yo, look, this company's willing to pay me, you know, 120 instead of 100 that you're paying me. Can you match that? If you match that, I'll stay with you. You know, boom, you got 120,000 salary, or you move to the other company and you make 120 or whatever. People like, that's what you have to do. Like that's what smart people do. Company loyalty is good and all, but the companies have to be able to at least match what other companies are willing to pay you. You know, and that takes time, but that's how you bring your salary up. And that's what a lot of people don't do. Like a lot of people stay with their job. They never ask for a raise. They never leverage other offers or whatever. And they just end up making less. I actually already answered it, Ruben. Again, I actually already answered it. You asked about what the delivery numbers are based on. And I told you I'm pretty sure they're talking about sales to customers. You know, so I answered it about 5 minutes ago. But I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it's actual sales to customers, you know, because we have the manufacturing numbers, like how many they're manufacturing, and then delivery numbers, I'm assuming, are actually sold vehicles, right? Colorado 120K is mids. Well, it's enough. Well, online money, I mean, I'm an online person, you know, like I've always been that way. Like I've always been a person that like I can make money online, you know, anybody really can. It just, you got to know what you're doing. You know, a lot of people don't. Like a lot of people create YouTube channels, they create all these other things, and they just don't know how to grow them. You know, they keep doing the same thing over and over again, thinking that they're going to take like for lack of a better word, like a shotgun approach and just throw out as much content as they can, hoping to grow. And that's just not how it works. Like you have to be smart with how you market it. You have to be smart with how you grow it. You also have to be smart with what industry you get involved with, because some are saturated. Some, no matter what you do, you're not going to grow. But, and, you know, you see YouTube channels doing the same thing. Their thumbnails are bad. Their titles are too long. They're not optimizing keywords. The biggest mistake I would say people make online trying to grow a social media brand is that they're simply putting out content that they might be specialties. They might have specialties in, but they're not. It's not content that people are really willing. All right, so Tesla spiked up a little bit here. Let me make sure the numbers aren't out. Nope, numbers still aren't out yet. So we're waiting here, chat. We're waiting. Yeah, so again, we did have data from Chinese car numbers. Data from the China Passenger Car Association indicated that the EV maker sold 89,000 China-made cars in the country during the month of March, up 0.2% from a year before. Tesla, the sales were roughly flat from a year earlier. EV sales in China rose 33%. Yeah, but I don't know if that's a market. Like, I know it's a big market, but I also don't know if, like, look, it's gonna be tough competition for them overseas. They're gonna have a lot of like Neo, other EV brands over there. It's gonna be hard. Well, yeah, Austin's different. I mean, again, Austin's a little bit different, right? Just because Austin has grown a lot. But I would also argue that Austin's kind of bubblish territory right now. You know what I mean? Like, Austin's kind of a bubble right now. No, you're good, Ruben. It's all good, bro. Kira, is that you?
Yeah, I'm looking for a Jolts short.
Oh. Here, make sure you send them in here. All right. Yeah, again, we got a lot of stuff today. We got the Jolts report later on this evening. We got Jolts. We've got obviously Tesla delivery numbers. Yeah, again, you just got to do things right. Like, I see a lot of people. Again, the biggest mistake is that it's too specialty content. Like, people making YouTube channels, as an example. A lot of them are putting out content that nobody wants to see, right? Like, the amount of people that are going to be interested in watching the video that they're putting out is so small. Like, they're targeting it down so much that nobody wants to see it, right? And I think when you produce content, that's the first question that should come in your mind is, what do people want to see? Right? And then after that, what am I good at that contributes to what people want to see? And then that way you combine those two and you grow. But, again, it's not going to work just doing the same thing over and over again. You got to, especially, I mean, unless it's already working, Predictions for the Jolts report. I mean, Jolts report's expected to come in a little bit low relative to last time. I don't know I think the market probably still fears too much jobs. So I still think the market will probably react negatively to this number. I still think the market will probably react negatively the higher the number is, right? But I'm not 100% sure, and I think it could certainly vary. I could easily be wrong here. Again, I'm not 100% sure. But Jolt's number expected at 8.76 million. Last time it came in at 8.86 million. I'm pretty sure last time it influenced the market negatively because it came in higher than expected, right? Is that right? I'm pretty sure that's right. 8.9 is what they showed up as. We're expecting 8.8 this time, basically, if you round to it. So, yeah, Tesla's still moving up a little bit, though, in pre-market here. Tesla's still red in pre-market, technically. If we put up the previous closing price, you can see it's well up here, but we're getting closer to neutral territory for Tesla in pre-market today. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big believer in FSD. I think FSD is what's going to help Tesla really ingrain themselves into EV and success. I think FSD is where they're on the forefront of it, and it's going to be the future of technology. I truly believe that. I think it's just the natural progression of technology is full self-driving vehicles, driverless vehicles. I think it's the natural progression of technology, and I think Tesla's on the front of that right now. And so if they position themselves very well to really shine from FSD. But the other thing of that is that when does that happen? Like, that might happen in 2 years, it might happen in 2 months, it might happen in 10 years. And so I don't think it's something that we can necessarily bet on anytime soon, but I think that's more of an argument for like long term, Jolts report is job numbers, it's job openings is what it is. So it's it's job openings. So job openings, the easier way to put it, it's like job growth, right? More jobs that opens means more job growth, means more economic growth. But the market might, in a period of a hawkish, Fed, in a period of quantitative tightening, in a period of rate hikes and pauses, and the Fed's been raising the federal funds rate over the last year or two, I think higher job numbers might signal worse price action in stocks and equities and futures. I think I don't think it's necessarily what the market wants. I think the market still fears jobs regardless of what the Fed says. Even if the Fed says, oh, hey, we don't fear jobs, I still think they probably do. And I think more spending is going to be seen as a bad thing right now. And again, like I said yesterday, you get people who just say, like, they just say we're in a recession because the political party that they don't like is in power. And again, we're nowhere near a recession right now, right? Like, I want to add on this because I think a lot of people don't understand economics in this way, where they just think, ooh, things are bad right now, we must be in a recession, right? That's not what a recession is. Recession means too little spending. And right now, we're actually on the other end of that spectrum where inflation is high because we had too much spending. And so, again, when that happens, the Federal Reserve takes what's called a hawkish approach, which means they want a restrictive monetary policy, which essentially means they want to keep interest rates high, right? When interest rates are high, consumer, like when you're paying more money in mortgages and in auto financing and in loans in general, consumers spend less because they got less money to spend because they're spending more money on mortgages and everything else because the interest rates are so high, right? And what that does is that lowers spending and ultimately combats inflation. That's why the Fed will keep interest rates high, because ideally, right, interest rates are going to be low. We're going to be able to get cheap loans, cheap mortgages, all that good stuff. But again, sometimes that's not necessarily good, and the Fed can't just always keep interest rates low. And so again, since 2020 and the pandemic happened and we had stimulus checks, the Fed did what's called quantitative easing, which means they brought interest rates down to almost zero. If you look at the federal funds rate, let me see if I can find. Is there a symbol for the federal funds rate? Let me see. I know I could type in like Fed funds here, but I don't. Oh, they do. Yeah. Okay. So they do have one. Nice. All right. So yeah. So again, here is the federal funds rate graph. Let's put a weekly chart up. Let me see if there's a better way. I don't know if I like this. Here, I'm just going to show you guys the regular one. This one's kind of confusing and not really what I'm trying to look at. Anyways, yeah, so we're just going to put... Let me see if I can put that. Anyways, if you look at the federal funds rate, right, which the federal funds rate is the rate that banks charge each other to lend money overnight. We're going to put Tesla back up. Federal funds rate is the interest rate banks charge each other to lend money overnight. The thing to understand that is eventually that trickles into everything else, right? So eventually that trickles into mortgages, into conventional loans, into auto financing. And so by raising the federal funds rate, it's keeping interest rates high. By lowering or cutting the federal funds rate, when you hear rate cut, that's what they're talking about, is cutting the federal funds rate, which will eventually drop interest rates to consumers. They're only going to do that if inflation is under control, because if inflation is not under control, lowering the federal funds rate is going to make inflation worse. It's going to cause a burst of more spending, right? Because when interest rates are low, people spend more. They have more money to spend. They're paying less in mortgages and interest and all this stuff. So that's the thing to understand about it, right? But right now, after 2020, the pandemic happened. They sent out stimulus checks. They cut the federal funds rate. They did quantitative easing and bought up a bunch of bonds, allowing banks to lower interest rates to consumers. And these things that's called a dovish Fed, a Fed that's trying to bring interest rates down. These things brought interest rates down to almost zero. If y'all can see that, let me make sure y'all can see it. Yeah, so these things brought interest rates down to almost zero. One of the consequences to bringing interest rates down so low is inflation. Why? Because people spend more when interest rates are this low, and they maintain this low interest rate position from July of 2020 to January of 2022. So almost 2 years. They maintained a year and a half. They kept interest rates really, really low. And again, if you talk to mortgage professionals, right? Like mortgage professionals, if you talk to real estate agents, they made so much money in this period of time. Why? Because interest rates were low. They were 2.5%. If you're getting 2.5% interest loans, you're going to be able to sell a lot more houses, sell a lot more mortgages, so forth and so on, right? But again, the consequence of this is inflation. So that's why we've had such bad inflation since then, is because the Fed was so dovish in that period of time, and justifiably so. They're trying to save the economy for a recession or depression. So this is when the recession and depression risks were there, which is, prior to the Fed doing all this stuff. But over the last year and a half or so, the Fed, really over the last 2 years, the Fed has been raising the federal funds rate Rate hikes. They've been raising the federal funds rate. They've been keeping interest rates high. They've been doing what's called quantitative tightening, which is not buying up a bunch of bonds, makes bank margins worse. Banks end up keeping interest rates high from it as well. And really, they've been pausing interest rates right now. But again, the question is, when are we going to cut rates? And again, Powell has said sometime this year, most likely. I think it's going to be in June. But with all of these things said, right, we're looking at the Jolts report today. The Jolts report could show more jobs. If it shows more jobs and more economic growth, the market could fear that because inflation is still a risk right now. Inflation's not quite down to 2% targets, although it's not bad. It's anywhere between 2.8 and 3.5%, depending on which inflation metric you look at. But it's not good necessarily. It still can be high. Some of the numbers over the last few years or over the last few months have been higher than expected, although we did have PCE data last Friday that came in as expected or lower than expected. I think it came in at 2.8. What did PCE show up as on Friday, chat? Let me look. PCE showed up at 2.8% for core PCE. So yeah, I mean, it's getting closer to that 2% target. But I guess the point here is that more jobs, regardless of what Powell says, inflation has been sticky since 2020. It's gotten a lot better over the last 2 years. But I don't think the market still wants an abundance of job openings, at least too high of job openings. I still think that's going to cause a negative, market reaction because of fears of inflation. And again, we're not anywhere near a recession. A recession would be the opposite of this, where we have too little spending. Right now, we're kind of worried about too much spending, and in that regard, I think the Jolts report, there might be a negative correlation between the Jolts report and markets. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Powell speaks tomorrow at noon. Again, what do you guys think deliveries are going to show up as? Still not out yet. We're still waiting for them to drop. A lot of people there, again, they were originally slated for 457. A lot of people are now expecting, they were originally slated for 471. They then dropped it down to 457. A lot of people are expecting like 425. Right now, a lot of people are expecting 425 for deliveries, and so it'll be an interesting report here. It's scheduled for 9 a.m. We still got about an hour, but yeah. I hope you guys understand all the economic stuff we're talking about. That's kind of my job, is to help you guys understand it. Elon's going to surprise a few people. I hope they come in at 481. Smart. I really do. I hope they come in high. I don't know if they're going to, but I hope they do. SPY breaking lows here, chat. Q breaking lows, Nvidia breaking lows, Tesla pulling back a little bit. So we're getting bearish action in the market right now. We are getting bearish movement. I think between 410 and 430 is a reasonable estimate. I agree. I think so as well. I think I hope we come in at the higher end of that, but who knows? As long as it's higher than last year's 422, I'm happy. Yeah. I mean, I want the markets to go up. I don't want them to go down, but it might be confirmation bias, Again, Nvidia is still under 900s, and it's been leading the market a lot the last year. So we'll see what that looks like. But Tesla has been moving the markets as well. As they overhike, now they will print hard helicopter money. It's bullish. I don't know, man. They've been in quantitative tightening. They haven't been printing money much. I think deliveries come in low and earnings come in high at the end of the month. You've made things very clear to me over a few months of following. Thank you, brother. Hey, all good, man. Appreciate it. We try, but it makes sense once you start to understand it. A lot of people hear these things like rate hikes, Jerome Powell, Fed, hawkish, dovish, and they don't quite understand what it means. They just think, again, and I have family that's like this. I just had a crawfish boil with a lot of family. And again, they don't really understand. They think things are bad. We must be in a recession or depression, or they think, a lot of them think it's like the president's fault that inflation is really high or whatever it is, and they're all separate. Like, inflation is high because of stimulus checks and the pandemic. Now maybe you could blame them, but inflation is bad because the Fed dropped interest rates really low in 2020 to save the economy from again, the pandemic. Pandemic was rough. They brought interest rates down. They wanted to contribute to more spending. They wanted to stimulate spending in those periods of time. And again, the natural consequence of a thriving economy is inflation. And again, the same people who would complain about the current situation now, if we didn't bring interest rates down to zero during the pandemic, they'd be upset about a recession or depression, or crying about a recession or depression. And so either way, people are going to complain. That's something that you understand about economics, is that no matter what you do, somebody's unhappy, right? If the economy's thriving and doing really, really well, people are going to complain about inflation because prices go up when the economy thrives and people spend. If it's on the other side of that, if we have too little spending, too little economic growth, they're going to complain about not having enough jobs and not earning enough and all this stuff. So no matter what, people are going to be unhappy, and that's something that you realize very quickly when you watch the economy and economics. And again, I've said it once, I'll say it again. Powell's got a tough job. I guess I do envy him. He's got a net worth of tens of millions of dollars, but still, tough job. Nobody's ever happy, is what you learn covering these things. All right, so Tesla down to 173 is dipping all the way down with the market to the 200 EMA volume weighted average price. Yeah, I'm looking at economic news and markets. All right, chat, we got 600 people here. PayPal is tanking. I'm in PayPal right now, though. My average price is 51.40s. So at 65, we're still doing pretty good. Central bankers control economies, 100%, yeah. It's at 9 a.m. Eastern time is when the Tsla delivery numbers, the Jolts job report that I'm referencing, comes out at 10 a.m. We're gonna stream both of these live, so so you can subscribe. We'll be here. Yeah, and again, we also have earnings season this month where we have Tesla earnings. A lot of the big boy earnings drop later this month. 9 a.m. is when Tesla numbers drop Eastern. Yeah, I mean, one of the things you saw from the checks, Paulo, the stimulus checks came out. You see like Rolex prices spiking. You see Louis Vuitton prices spiking. You see, those are one things that directly contributed to inflation, Yeah, so NVIDIA earnings are usually one of the last earnings reports, though, Mikey. So he said they're May 22nd. But this month we have Tesla numbers. We have a lot of the big first thing with earnings season usually sparks with banks. So banks drop earnings first, and then after that Tesla, Netflix, and then after that you get like Amazon, Apple, Meta, stuff like that, Google, and then after that you eventually get Nvidia. So we still got a little bit of time though here. Okay, so yeah, Meta earnings are gonna be April 24th. I'm waiting for the other one. I just hope they don't put them on the same freaking day, bro. I hate it when the companies do the same day. Amazon's supposed to be May 2nd. I don't think any of these are confirmed, though. I just hope Apple and Amazon aren't going to do them the same freaking day again. I hate it when they do that, man. All right, so here's 8 a.m. So here's the 8 a.m. Why is the market not bouncing? I don't know. This is too short term to really have any reason for it. It might just be pull it back a little bit. Airbus reportedly delivered roughly 145 planes in the quarter one of 24, according to Bloomberg. All right, so there's 8 a.m. Thanks for the explainers. 99% of content creators make no sense. Well, a lot of them don't actually understand economics. Like, a lot of them are just kind of... Like, you see a lot of these guys that come from day trading. And again, I came from day trading, but I was always kind of an investor. But you see a lot of these guys come from day trading. It's the same people that are predicting a crash every other day, right? Because again, they're so used to like short-term volatile price action from day trading that they don't really understand how rare market crashes are, right? So those are the ones you see posting every other day. The stock market's about to crash. The market's going to crash tomorrow. The market's going to crash next week. The market's going to crash the week after that, you know, and then they just kind of create a bunch of diluting videos, you know, to dilute their wrong crash predictions that they make every other week. But again, most of the time they just don't really understand economics because they come from day trading, right? So they're coming from day trading, they're watching like super volatile price action short term, and they think long-term investing in economics is like that, and it's just not. You know, it's the same reason you see a lot of over crash predictors in chat, right? People are predicting too many crashes because again, they don't really understand how rare it is. You know, some of them are, again, I always use another example. Some of them watch The Big Short and movies like it too much. They want to be too contrarian, and so they over-predict crashes. I talked about this yesterday. I think the best crash case, if you're going to argue a crash right now, I think it only really comes from one source, which is Nvidia. I think if Nvidia drops down to $500 or $600 and scares the market out of it, that could influence everything else in a big negative way in crash markets. But because I think Nvidia's up a lot, and I think if Nvidia starts to turn, people are going to get scared. A lot of people are going to unload. Still, I don't necessarily think that's going to happen, but I think that's the best crash argument right now. We'll cover them here probably before you'll be able to look it up. Wild West. 9 a.m. Hey, thanks, Sean. Yeah, Michael Burry's predicted 27 of the last 2 crashes. Yeah. All right, so we got an hour before Tesla deliveries come out. An hour. Yeah, 9 a.m. Eastern time is when they drop. Also, guys, if you haven't checked out one of my sponsors, check out Apex funded account programs. Apex has very little bit of time left for their massive sale. So Apex has their massive sale going on right now. It only has, or is the sale over? Let me make sure. Okay, no, the sale has 8 hours left. For 8 more hours, guys, if you use my coupon code BT, Beginner Trading, you get 80% off in a 1-day pass for Apex. Again, this is a massive discount because what it allows you to do is get 80% off. The base one's only 30 or 35 bucks for the 25K challenge. With that, and they have challenges all the way up to 300K. They have static challenges, all that good stuff. With that, they're going to give you a demo, and they're going to test your skill with the demo. If you could pass the test, they fund you the same amount. The base one, they give you a 25K demo. If you can make $1,500 in profit without losing $1,500 and following the rest of their rules and conditions, they fund you 25K with a 90% split. You get to keep your first 25K in profit. Tons of great resources. And so again, you're keeping most of your profit once you're funded anyway. But if you lose, you're only out what you pay for, which is again 30, 35 bucks. Your risk is profoundly limited in that situation. And when you consider most day traders lose money, this makes perfect sense for new traders. Again, to be fair, I think most day traders are going to lose. It doesn't matter whether they're on there here or whether they're on Thinkorswim or TD Ameritrade or wherever. I think most day traders lose money. Still, I think it's a lot cheaper to lose on Apex. And if you pass it, you still keep, and you follow their rules, you still keep 90% anyway. And I think that's a great way to learn how to day trade, where your risk is limited, but if you're good enough to pass it, you still have a 90% split and all that good stuff. Again, they are a sponsor of mine. The patterns in futures, in futures, you can essentially day trade the S&P, the SPY price action, and what's called here's the E-mini futures contract. And again, remember, they are a sponsor of mine. I'm biased because they pay me money. And so I'm super biased in their favor because they pay me money. Understand rule CFTC 4.41. Hypothetical or simulated performance results of certain limitations, all that good stuff with these funded account programs. But if you look at the E-mini here, and then you look at NVIDIA, looks very similar. I can day trade this left side here, no PDT rule. If I put up the SPY, it's the same price action. This is the same as this. It just has better liquidity on the future side. Again, patterns are very similar to blue chip stocks, and the sale ends in 8 hours, chat. If you want to help support your boy here in this channel, remember, they are a sponsor of mine. They pay me money. I'm biased because they do that. But again, great way to learn how to day trade. Here's the link. Check it out. Well, Tesla calls yesterday. 450K, Corey? Maybe, bro. We'll see. So 450,000 is what you're expecting. Maybe, man. Again, we'll see, bro. Yeah, we got a lot of Fed speakers today. Specifically, we got Bowman speaking at 10:10. We've got Cleveland Fed President Loretta Mester speaking at 12. And then we've got Mary Daly, the San Francisco Fed president. The big question, chat, is what does Tesla's delivery numbers show up as? I think their delivery numbers are expected to come in very low relative to the 457 number they're expecting versus 471 was what it was previously. It recently dropped. They recently lowered their guidance or their expectation for deliveries here, chat. A lot of people are expecting the Tesla deliveries to come in even lower than this, though. They're expecting 410s, 420s, 430s. And again, we'll see what happens here. I think if they come in over 430s, we could have a positive reaction, although I think it's hard to tell. I think Tesla's already down a lot over the last, year or so. Basically since June of last year, Tesla has been downtrending. It's been a tough time for Tesla. And maybe these delivery numbers will help. Again, let me know in chat what the delivery numbers are going to show up as. 413s, I see 477s. I'm not sure if Tesla sold 2% more, where the competition is off the... Yeah, for sure. get Nvidia cracking lows again here. Let's put Nvidia up. And again, you can see like Nvidia price action looks very similar to the E-mini. You can day trade this left side in futures. But yeah, Nvidia testing lows. E-mini broke lows. Still waiting for Tesla numbers. And again, they should come out around 9 a.m. We don't know exactly. I see 443, 395, 445. $452. AMD has been really, really strong. Another one of the microchip stocks that have been kind of crazy lately is MU. MU has been absolutely ridiculous. Look at this chart. You know, MU's been probably, I would argue, the strongest microchip over the last 2 weeks. Like, here's a 10-day chart. Look how strong this is. So MU has gone from 91 at the lows to 127.30s at the highs. So crazy chart for MU over the last 3 or 4 days, really, here is what this is. About 3 or 4 days in, MU has skyrocketed up. Yeah, Apex is. All right, bud. I love you, man.
Love you.
Love you, buddy.
Love you.
Have a great day, man. All right, chat. Can this event have a positive impact on Bitcoin if the numbers are good? I mean, not really. It might move markets, which might in turn influence Bitcoin a little bit, but not really. It's not going to be correlated with Bitcoin much. Is Palantir really tanking? Yeah. It's been dropping for the last few days. Look at that. Let me do a poll number. I did a poll here. The poll number says 39% think Tesla's going to come in higher than 450. 61% think lower than 450. I also did a Twitter one also. Let me see what that says. 53.8% are bullish for Tesla deliveries. 46% are bearish for Tesla deliveries. On other brighter news, the Astros actually had a no-hitter yesterday. Got something in my eye. All right, Toys R Us stores across the U.S. from 57 to 2020. Bro, Toys R Us used to be the most hyped up store for me as a child. Like, that was the store I always wanted to go to, but my parents were frugal and never brought me there. You know, they were like, nah, bro, we're going to Kmart, dude. And so, never got to go. Anytime I did go, I got to get, like, one small thing. I'm not saying I'm not grateful for it, but, you know, Toys R Us had, like, you know, like Toys R Us was the store to go to as a kid. You know, it used to be hyped in the 90s. I don't know. Again, I don't know if young people now today or kids now today know what Toys R Us was. But, bro, they had all the good toys at Toys R Us. You paid a premium for them. But they had a bunch of cool toys, a bunch of video games, everything. But again, it kind of shows like brick and mortar stores are done. You know, brick and mortar stores are done. Unless, like, the question for brick and mortar stores right now is the product convenient enough to where you want to go to the store same day and get it? And I think most products are not that needy or needed same day. And so most products and most brick and mortar product stores are going to fail outside of like fashion brands. You know, you got to try them on. Technology is good, but not great for like sizing apps and stuff like that. So clothes stores are still going to be fine. But outside of that, you know, appliances obviously is one where you want to go buy it in store, see it, try it out. But outside of those things, I don't know, man. I just don't think most brick and mortar brands are going to survive, unfortunately. And I love Toys R Us, but you know, they went out of business pretty soon. Sad. I don't know how they went out of business. Well, people just don't use them anymore. Like, people buy stuff online now. You know, Christmas shopping is mostly done online. You don't go to Toys R Us now. No parent wants that stress. I've got 2 kids. If I could avoid the stress of going Christmas shopping for them at a crazed toy store, I'm going to, you know. And so I get it, but yeah. Yeah, for the people, government funded Toys R Us, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Future of AMC stock, I don't know, man. They should have went online. Well, yeah, but then they're competing with Amazon. That's the problem. Like, a lot of these stores could go online, but then they're competing with big boy online retailers, and they're never going to succeed competing against them. Toys R Us would have never succeeded against competing against Amazon. You know, like, if you have to buy stuff online, right? The reality is, you know, Amazon's efficient. You know, you can get your stuff very, very efficiently on Amazon, very reliably, I guess is the key word. And so if you're ordering products that like kids stuff for Christmas and you need it and you want to make sure you're going to get it, you're not going to go to Toys R Us, right? So nobody's going to really buy from them, unfortunately. And you know, starting businesses like that takes money, takes funding. They understand the probabilities of success online against Amazon are very, very low. And so they probably just said, look, let's file for bankruptcy, get a check, and leave. Toy stores are needed. Most of the world does not shop online. I mean, most of the U.S. does, you know. And again, that's going to get more and more weighted towards online shopping. You know, I'm trying to think of the most delicate way to put this. The older population, they might shop in stores, right? But as they get older and older, and my generation and the generations under me get older and older, online shopping percentages is going to go higher and higher and higher and higher. Because, again, my generations were more well versed in technology and online, and so yeah, that's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse for retailers, because the people that do still shop at stores, like mostly the older population, they're going to get older and older, and my generation is as well, and they're going to, you know, it's the percentages are obviously going to continue to go higher for online shopping. Yeah, I used to love Toys R Us, though, for sure. Now the Toys R Us in my area is like it's like a Halloween store or something. It was. I don't know. It's empty now. You're way off on your Toys R Us take. I know, then hit me with an argument, brother. I get these arguments all the time where people are like, you're wrong. Okay, then what's your argument? You know, people don't ever want to answer because, you know, again, give me your argument. You're discounting that Macy's bought Toys R Us? Okay, sure. But, again, man, have you been to a Macy's recently? It's pretty empty, brother. Macy's is one of those stores that's going to be done for in about 10 years, too. Less than 10 years, I think. Again, the reality is brick and mortar stores are on their way out. I think that's very obvious and self-evident. We can argue that they're not. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. but I think most brick and mortar stores are going to fail, and I think that's very obvious. Online mail order shipping has gotten so efficient that you can get most of the stuff same day, next day, and it's just more efficient. All right, chat. We still got about 45 minutes before these numbers drop. We got about 700 people here live. Hit the subscribe button. Again, we also have Jolts report today. We got the Jolts job numbers coming out. Big report. See what that looks like as well. Macy's online fulfillment does good. You're misinformed. I mean, listen, your mistake is thinking that I'm arguing how efficient Macy's online shopping is, right? That's not what I'm arguing. Love you. Have a great day. Anyways, I'm back. But yeah, your argument mistake is thinking that I'm talking about how efficient Macy's online products are. They could be the most efficient in the world, right? The reality of it is most people, even with their efficiency, are not going to take the risk of buying their stuff from them. They're going to instead go to what they know, which is Amazon, right? That's the reality of it, is that they could be the most efficient company in the world. People are still going to go to Amazon because that's what they know, and they know Amazon's going to do it. It's not about how efficient it is. It's about broad adoption. And I don't think Macy's online has that broad adoption, unfortunately. I'm not saying they don't have some sales, but I think over time their sales are going to decline in that category as well. Insanity crash starting? Nah, man, not yet. I don't think we're going to crash. This is just a little pullback, man. Like, if we pull up the SPY here, chat. Let's pull it up. Here's the E-mini. Let's put a daily chart up, This is the E-mini. So we haven't had like some big crazy crash or anything like that. Like y'all are calling this a crash. And not yet, guys. Crash would be like this. Maybe larger than this actually. Every day, man, people call a crash. It's silly. Yeah, all good, Matt. It's all good, man. Like I said, if you disagree with me, it's all good, brother. Like I said, we can have these conversations and these debates almost, and not hate each other, be disrespectful. I think that's the mistake most people make, is that they end up thinking. I don't take you disagreeing with me as an attack, and I hope you don't take me disagreeing with you as an attack. It's just difference of opinion, and that's the nature of the stock market. It's kind of how it goes. We're all gonna have differing opinions on things. But yeah, let's take a look at Nvidia here. Nvidia down to 895s. Again, the E-mini definitely red over the last 10, 15 minutes. Would we expect a correction? Well, it depends on how big of a correction. I don't know. My experience with Amazon is that they're very pro-buyer. I used to have a used book business on Amazon, where I would sell used books, and that business did very well. I would make thousands of dollars. I would go to thrift stores, and I had a Bluetooth barcode scanner with like a whole catalog of Amazon prices on my phone, and I would scan every book barcode they had. If the book was worth more than $20, I'd buy it for like 50 cents, $1, $2, and I would sell it for very good margins. Over time, that's where I got most of these library books from, is from stores like that. And I sold on Amazon, but one thing you realize is that Amazon is very pro-buyer. They will literally refund whatever if somebody complains. They will refund very, very quickly. And if you don't refund even if you don't refund it, they will go to your account and refund the buyer very easily. And so, yeah, I think Amazon's very pro-buyer in that regard. Yeah, over time it became saturated, but I made enough money from it to delve into other things, All right, chat. Again, we got about 700 people here live. All right, so it's almost 8:30. Again, Tesla delivery numbers drop around 9 o'clock. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in one of the ways that I grew, like, right, like in the beginning, nobody buys from you because you're a new seller, right? But one of the ways that I grew is that I remember my first, like, couple buys. I made some money. I didn't make a lot. But the first review I got was because somebody ordered a book from me, and it was like an expensive book, right? It was like $40. And like Amazon had, I didn't pack it right, so it was really my fault. But I think the delivery service had also kind of like beat up the book a little bit. So by the time they got it, it was like destroyed from packing and shipping. And so what I did was I went on Amazon and I literally bought them a brand new copy and I shipped it to them overnight. And I told them, I said, hey, look, I'm going to send you a brand new book overnight. And so I sent them a brand new copy of the book overnight, paid like $60 for it. And they gave me like a raving review, right? A raving review. And then that eventually snowballed into more reviews and more reviews. And then eventually I was selling thousands and thousands of dollars worth of books every month. And so in the beginning, you have to be focused on customer service. If you're not, and you're, again, you see it a lot with like YouTube channels where YouTube channels are still small and they're so focused on making money before they really have the following they want, right? Like you've got to be consistent with the following first before you really try to monetize it. You see it with movies like The Social Network with Facebook. One of the visions that Mark Z had for Facebook was that like his partner Eduardo wanted to monetize the site early, right? Like really, really early. And I don't know if it was Mark or if it was the guy from Napster who said the very famous quote, "We want Facebook to be cool in the beginning. Facebook needs to be cool in the beginning, and ads aren't cool, you know." And so you got to be like that. Again, I see a lot of YouTubers try to over monetize their site, their page when they're very young, when they're very new. Like if you're not getting thousands of views in each video, do not try to monetize it. It's just going to discourage it. Once you grow a following, that's when you monetize it. But people have the wrong schedule for that type of stuff, I think. Yeah, it's a great movie. My son even liked it. Like my son's watching it with me. We got about a quarter of the way through, and he loves it. He loves tech and stuff like that too, which is good, I guess. Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg gets some hate. I like him a lot more now that he learns jiu-jitsu and MMA, you know. I like him a lot more now. Yeah, I might buy up. If we dip that much, I'm going to start buying stuff for sure. Yeah, one of the crazy statistics from the beginning of that movie, and I don't know if it's true, but that China has more genius level IQs than America has any IQs. You know, so that's a crazy stat. I don't know if it's true, but it could be. According to that movie, it is. Bears have predicted 53 of the last 3 crashes. Yeah, I like Tesla. I think Elon's a little outspoken for me personally, for my taste. I think if you sell things to consumers, you need to be neutral and uncontroversial, and I think he's the opposite. And maybe it'll work for him. I don't know, you know. Yeah, maybe it works for him. I don't freaking know. Mr. Beast bought a grocery store and gave someone 10K for every day he survived inside. You would think you'd stay as long as you want. I would stay at least a week or two. You know, it's easy to say you would stay longer than that, but I don't know, man. All right, chat. Watching Tesla over 173s now. So over 173s for Tesla. All right, we're at 5270s for the E-mini. Nvidia's still under 9s at 896. Tesla spiked up, hit that 200 EMA volume weighted average price. We'll probably start trading a little bit here. Whaling was the biggest industry in the early 1900s. Interesting. All right, chat. Let's get ready to day trade a little bit here. All right, so there's Tesla popping back up to 173s. Again, we still got 30 minutes before the numbers are set to drop. There's the 8:30 time frame here. So 8:30 happened. Yeah, I mean, again, my big thing is boredom, right? Like, the thing is not about food. The thing about, like, spending that much time is boredom. Like, you're going to get so bored. If you, like, okay, let me think of the best way to put this. So, humans and primates in general need social interaction, right? It's one of the most important parts of who we are as humans and primates in general is social interaction. Without social interaction, we suffer, you know, if we don't have social interaction. And so in challenges like this, it's not food, you know, or anything like that. It's the lack of social interaction all day. You're basically spending all day by yourself in a grocery store. And so if you can't watch TV, if you can't watch anything, you know, and get some type of social, like, storytelling, stuff like that, right? Even if you're not actually with somebody else, even if it's just you. If you can watch TV, it's one thing. But, you know, without that type of social interaction, you get bored, right? You get in your head. It's not as easy as it looks, I guess is the point. All right, so Tesla spike it up a little bit. Yeah, so the next clip is Monday, April 8th. And if you're in the path, the sky will darken for several minutes and the air will get colder. Interesting. So this is next Monday. What time is it? Does anybody know? Eastern time? All right, so again, Tesla delivery number still not out yet. We're still waiting. We did get a spike, though, on Tesla. We did get a spike. Yeah, so I see 10-year bonds spiking up there at almost 4.4%. Buying Doge. All right, look at Tesla. It's moving up, though. So Tesla is spiking up. It's at 173s. All right. Big red action coming through here. All right, so again, market's testing lows again here. We'll see if it bounces or what happens. Still waiting for the Tesla delivery numbers in about 25 minutes, chat. 25 minutes. Apple? Yeah, Apple's down some. All right, so Tesla's still over the VWAP here. We got about 25 minutes or so until these numbers drop. So we still got to wait. Tesla still looks like it wants to break down. Big breakdowns coming through in markets. Tesla now underneath these lows. Nvidia flushing down here as well. Chat. We got about 800 people here live currently. Okay, who's putting out? Yeah, I'm going to start banning people who are putting out these dumb comments about this. So if you're out here just saying weird stuff, you're just going to get banned quickly here, chat. But, yeah, again, we got the numbers coming out. Again, numbers are expected at mid 450s now. They were expected at 470s, but they corrected these numbers. Now they're expected at mid 450s. A lot of people are expecting low fours here, chat. So like low fours, so like 410s, 420s. Let me know what you guys are thinking. 440s. Yeah, there's the market cracking lows again here. Still 329K. I don't think they're going to come in that low. You know, at least I hope they don't come in that low. They could. We got 20 plus minutes left. Again, I hope they don't come in that low. They could, though. I mean, I don't know. Chat, we'll see. Tesla's overvalued. I don't know. Tesla get anything under 450? They're going down. Maybe. Question with Tesla is how much are the delivery numbers priced in? 100% agree. Again, we'll have to wait. Yeah, everybody always says things are leaked. They almost never are. All right, so Rivian produced almost 14,000 vehicles here, chat. So we're going to put these numbers up in chat. Rivian delivery numbers came out. They are mostly negatively reacting to these. Mostly down from these reports. Yeah, we're going to cover Jolts for sure. You can see the Rivian numbers. Rivian went up originally, now they're down some. They've had a rough couple months. All right, Tesla cracked down a little bit. Again, the E-mini been breaking down. Nvidia's been flushing down under lows here. So we are getting bearish action so far. I'm also going to throw it in sub-only mode here, chat. I haven't yet. We are pushing towards, 135K or so, 135K. So we'll see if we ever hit these numbers. But, yeah. Also, shout out to you guys here. My channel has gotten over 10 million views. That's a really cool number here, chat. 10 million. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. How can a dividend stock like OCCI give a divvy of 27%? Because it's a wildly depreciating stock. Look at a long-term chart. If you want to know why companies can pay super high dividends here, it's because when you put up their long-term chart, it looks like this. It's a weekly chart. They have been downtrending since 2021 from 18 down to 6. So they have lost 66% of their value in the last 3 years. That's why they can pay out that, Anyways, S&P 500 is still breaking down. E-mini breaking down. Nvidia breaking down. Tesla starting to flush. Do you think we'll head back to the bear market with all this crashing? I mean, no offense, Slee. That's a silly question, brother. Like again, I get it. Day traders might magnify bearish action, but chat, even with this bearish action, look, the S&P 500. I don't know what this is. Let me remove this. right? Like even with this bearish action, right? Here's a weekly chart. This is a weekly chart. This is the current candle we're on right now. So like acting like we're crashing now because we're down this much in Nvidia, you know, is just a silly thing. Like, listen, I'm not saying this is not a bearish movement, but even if we zoom in and put up like a yearly chart, right? Here's a yearly chart. This is the E-mini, the S&P 500 over the last year straight. This does not mean crash, guys. And I think that's silly. And I think a lot of bears want us to be crashing. So they see a little bit of red action and they're like, see, I told you so. We're crashing down. This is nowhere near a crash. Nothing like a crash, right? Like the only way we're going to look like a crash is if Nvidia starts to drop down like massively to like $600, $500. That might trigger something bigger than this. But this is just a bear morning. Like markets are not going to always be up and green. And it's silly, like every time I see a bearish morning, like a morning where stocks are downtrending, people are saying, is this crash? You know, no, of course not. You know what I mean? Like, come on now, guys. Y'all know better than this. Market drops at 0.5%. Everybody says the market's crashing, guys. Get out now. All right. I mean, it's definitely bearish, but it's not a crash here, team. Yeah, you'll know when it's a crash. Seriously. Triple M, 3M, yeah. Are you making enough to quit your day job? I make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. You know. Again, I'm not trying to brag. I'm just being honest because he asked me. He said he has a channel. Depends on what niche you're in. Like, I'm in the finance niche, so typically we make more money here than, like, entertainment, I would say. Big bearish action showing up though this morning here. It's a big dip. It's a big drop. It's not anywhere near a crash though, but this is a big bear move short term. Yeah, but I mean, again, like I said, my channel just broke 10 million views. You know, so like we get about 500,000 views a month. So like we're doing good. It really goes to show that I can tell people I have no idea what I'm talking about and I'm wildly wrong about everything and still make money. You know, let's watch AMD as well. MU. I might start buying this up though, Chad. I think we've dropped enough. Should I start buying this up? All right, chat. We got 12 minutes. So y'all just be careful. We do have a couple minutes left. Top 3 finance channels on the internet. Hey, thank you, Michael. Definitely top 3 for sure. What if Tesla doesn't release the numbers because it's too low? I mean, yeah, that would cause a negative reaction as well. Again, if you want to help support your boy here, check out Apex. Apex is a sponsor of mine. I'm biased because they pay me money. But if you want to check out a great way to learn how to day trade, limit your risk in the beginning. Almost all day traders lose. And so if you think you're going to be an outlier, savant, prodigy day trader because you bought some mentorship program, you're almost certainly not. Most day traders lose. It doesn't matter what course they take, who they follow. You're probably going to lose your first couple accounts day trading. And so with that fact in mind, it makes absolutely no sense to risk thousands of dollars in the market. Absolutely no sense to risk thousands of dollars in the market in the beginning. Instead, limit your risk day trading with a funded account program. If you lose, you're only out what you pay for it. You're only out the base one on Apex, they give you a demo. They're going to give you a demo and they're going to test your skill first. You're still learning how to trade under pressure. You're still risking something. The base one's only $35, so your risk is limited. They're going to give you a 25K demo account, and the profit target, if you can make $1,500 in that 25K demo, following their rules without losing $1,500 first, they fund you 25K with a 90% split. You get to keep your first 25K in profit. And so again, your risk is limited. Very limited risk. Your risk is $35 versus thousands if you try to put up your own money. And again, if you lose, it's not the end of the world. But if you pass it, 90% split in the futures market, you can day trade. You can buy market, sell market, all that good stuff. No PDT restrictions in the futures market. You can day trade essentially the S&P 500, essentially the SPY price action. You can day trade currencies, gold, silver. Again, there's no PDT rule, and patterns are very similar to blue chip stocks. Great way to learn how to day trade. Although again, they are a sponsor of mine. I'm biased because they pay me money. And so if you want to check it out, here's the link. Use promo code BT. It'll always get you the max discount, and the 80% off sale ends today. NVIDIA is still flushing down, breaking down under 890s. So we're definitely a little red this morning. Still got about 10 minutes before the scheduled numbers are supposed to be out, but Tesla's still pretty sideways and nothing's really going on. Yeah, the Jolts report today might have the market sideways leading out of this, but again, right now we do have bearish action. NVIDIA is what is dragging this here. NVIDIA down to 890. How do you lose your house, brother? I think in the end, guys, the biggest understanding that you need to have, one of the reasons I push funded account programs is because most day traders lose money. And if you're not smart, like, again, the marketing is so sketchy for a lot of day trading stuff. Like, you got gurus out here, you got teenagers with braces out here trying to act like market experts. You got people that are literally telling you if you buy their course, you can find financial freedom. And I'm here to tell you that is total freaking nonsense. Okay. Most of the content in those courses you can find for free here already. Most day traders will lose money. I don't care what the mentor says. I'm not saying there's not good ones out there, but most are going to lose money. Most people are going to lose money in the beginning. And the biggest thing you can do in the beginning to save money is lower the share size you're using. Lower the sizing you're using, the future sizing. Do not risk thousands of dollars thinking you're going to somehow be an outlier here. You're almost certainly not. I don't care what your guru says. I don't care what your favorite mentor says. They're trying to get you to buy a course. Most of you will lose money day trading. And so again, with that in mind, you can fund your own account and lose thousands of dollars gifting it to the market and market tuition, or you can limit your risk with a funded account program. Again, the choice is yours. One's a sponsor of mine, so of course I'm biased. But again, I still truly believe that. Like, I wish I had something like this when I first got started. It just makes sense. Yeah, and Apex has 25K accounts. And the good thing about Apex is that you can use a bunch of micro contracts, right? So you can use tons of micro contracts on Apex. The base one, the 25K one, you can use up to 40 micro contracts, I'm pretty sure. And so there's a lot of benefits to like using them. A lot of benefits. You can bunch of micro contracts, all that good stuff. And again, micro contracts allow you to scale in and out with small size. All right, chat. Hey, we got about 7.5 minutes here. Funny enough, the last Tesla delivery numbers day, the NASDAQ fell over 1%. Yeah. Not the braces. I'm not hating on braces. My son has braces. So does my daughter. Both of my kids actually have braces, right? But what I'm trying to say is that, listen, an 18-year-old's not going to be a stock market day trading expert. Okay? Like, they're just not. They can pretend to be, and again, people tend to relate more to people that are like them. And so if you're young, you want to believe that an 18-year-old is a market expert. Most of the time, they're just trying to sell you a course. That's the truth. In the end, it's all good. Like, let them make their money, I guess. But I'm not going to do that. Everything we do here is free. All right, guys. Nvidia over in 890s still. Tesla at 173s. Yeah, it's like that guru Caleb. You know, I have phone calls with Grant Cardone. You know, like, get out of here, son. Like, go do your homework, man. Like, stop trying to sell me stuff, dude. 40% of those people in the U.S. 18 to 34 years of age said they live with family, while 27% have roommates. Only 13% are living on their own between 18 and 34. The 18 doesn't surprise me. The 34, though? I mean, I'm not judging. Listen, if you don't have kids, like, have a roommate. Save some money. It's all good. The problem is you just don't, like, you don't get along. It's hard to get along with people. You got to find the right person, you know? All right, chat. Here we go. Let's get ready. Tesla delivery numbers coming soon. We got about 5 minutes before they're scheduled to release. You'll see the numbers. You'll see Tesla move when the numbers are out. So I'm going to put 2 charts up, and one of them is going to be Tesla. Tesla at 172s. Yeah, Bitcoin's down about 65K right now. About 65K. The Atlas, dude. Yeah. I mean, what they were doing was targeting low float stocks to their following and then front loading into those low float stocks and pumping those stocks really, really high, because low float stocks have less shares, so you can manipulate them in that way if you have a large following. And so they were front loading, acting like they just loved the stock on social media, pumping the stock up and then unloading into everybody, crashing the stock back down, causing a large percentage of their following to lose money. That's what they were doing, right? And that's not uncommon. You know, you see some big day trading, specifically penny stock gurus, do that. Like, a lot of penny stock gurus do exactly that. They pump up stocks to their following, profit, sell, cause crashes in the stocks, and cause a lot of them to lose money. It's very common. It's a gray area as well. All right, chat. E-mini break it down, though. S&P 500 break it down. Tesla at 170, 250s. We got about 1,000 people here live. Appreciate the love. Yeah, again, it's a gray area, you know. We'll report it right here, Neil. All right, chat. Watch Tesla. We're still waiting for the numbers. I don't know if they're going to come out exactly at 9. But yeah. All right, so Tesla getting a candlestick here. We got about 2 minutes left, chat. 2 minutes left. Did my music stop? It did. All right. 2 minutes, chat. 2 minutes. Looking at the site now. Waiting here. Again, we got the Jolts report live today as well. Here, chat. We do have the Jolts report in about an hour. So get ready. Watch Tesla price action. We'll know when they come out. It might not be at exactly 9, but it also could be. It might be at exactly 9. We'll see. All right, here we go. Less than a minute, chat. Less than a minute until these numbers drop. We'll see what happens. All right, here we go. 30 seconds. All right, here we go. Watching for Tesla price action here. It's not quite that time yet, so. Here we go. Watch for Tesla volatility. All right, still nothing yet, so the numbers have been, or the numbers aren't out yet. No. So again, we're on the site. Big drop. We're refreshing here, waiting for the numbers. We do have a dip right now, but nothing major. I mean, refresh. Nothing. Waiting. All right, there's the drop. So there's the drop. Tesla down to 169.80s here, chat. Tesla down to 169.80s. Big drop. Somebody's got the numbers. All right, 171s. All right, so the Tesla Cybertruck listed online with no reserve. All right, big dip down to 167. Again, they're not on the site yet. Not that I can see, at least. We'll look another link here. So, not on the site yet. All right, here we are. So Tesla delivery numbers are out. In the first quarter, they produced 433,000 vehicles and delivered approximately 387,000 vehicles. So way lower than expected. 387K is what they showed up as. 387,000. Production came in at 433,000. So again, 387,000 deliveries for Tesla. Way lower than expected. Way lower than expected. 387,000 is what they showed up as. Way lower than expected. And Tesla stock is understandably dumping down here. Again, the numbers are out. 387,000. Technically 386.10. 386.10. We'll put this up on screen. But yeah, big miss for Tesla deliveries. 433 produced. So these are the numbers right here. Big miss. Big miss. Down to 166,000 right now. 166. And so again, we'll read this. In the first quarter, we produced 433 vehicles and delivered 387. We deployed 4,053 MWh of energy storage products in the quarter one, the highest quarterly deployment yet. Decline in volumes was partially due to the early phase of the production ramp of the updated Model 3 at our Fremont factory and factory shutdowns resulting from shipping diversions caused by the Red Sea conflict and arson attack at Gigafactory Berlin. So again, Tesla down big on these reports. Big numbers drop on these reports. Tesla deliveries came in way lower than expected. And again, Tesla's down big right now, down to 164s. So, yep, that's the news today. Not good for Tesla, chat. Not good for Tesla. Down to 164s. Let's see if the market follows it down a little bit here, chat. Let's see if the market follows it down. And remember, chat, we do have the Jolts report coming out later today. So we do have the Jolts job report coming out at 10 a.m., a huge report detailing job numbers. We'll see what the market actually fears, whether they're still fearing higher job numbers or whether economic growth is going to stimulate the economy and the markets in a positive way. We'll see here, chat. We'll see. We'll put the we'll end this poll. We asked people. Most people got it right. They thought we'd come in lower than expected. We're going to do another poll here. Does Jolts job openings come in higher or lower than expected? Okay, we got that poll live as well. We'll see if Tesla bounces at 164, chat. Yeah, Tesla down, of course. Breaking lows again, potentially here, testing the lows now. And again, chat, if you haven't already, check out my sponsor, Apex. Apex funded account programs. They give you a demo. They test your skill. If you could pass the test, they fund you in futures. And in the futures market, there's no PDT rule. You can day trade, buy market, sell market, very similar to day trading stocks. And the patterns in futures on the E-mini, on the NASDAQ are very similar to, NVIDIA. You can basically day trade the SPY and Q price action in futures, and there's no PDT rule. And again, Apex, what they do is they give you a demo and they test your skill. If you could pass the test, they fund you. If you don't pass the test, your risk is limited. The base one's only $35. If you pass it, you get $25,000 in funding with a 90% split. So your risk is limited at only $40 for the base one. But if you're good enough to pass it, you get $25K in funding. You keep 90% of your profit once you're funded as well, as long as you follow their rules. And it just makes more sense. It's limited risk, but you can also get tons of funding, and a great way to learn how to day trade. You're still risking something, so you're still learning how to trade under pressure. There's just limited risk. Although, again, they are a sponsor of mine. I'm biased because they pay me money, so I'm biased. But if you want to check them out, promo code BT, beginner trading. BT will always get you the max discount. There's the link right there. Understand rule CFTC 4.41. And also remember, I am terrible and have no idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about everything I say. Don't copy me. Not an investment professional. Don't sue me. With that said, though, guys, we're going to get ready to trade some futures right now at the opening bell. We're going to get ready to trade. Here's the Dow. Dow is down a lot on this news as well here, chat. So the Dow is down a significant amount. I'll probably end up trading the micro NASDAQ here. We did make some money yesterday. So we did have a good day yesterday in our funded account. This is a 50K funded account. I did lose my 300K funded account, chat, just to put it out there. I think the odds are a little bit worse in the 300K one. The max loss versus profit target's a little bit worse anyway, but we did lose the 300K one. But I've been doing really well in this 50K one. And, yeah, so far, let me show you my P&L yesterday and today. There we go. Yesterday, here's my P&L. We made about 120. Slow and steady, 4.4 or 4-to-1 win-loss ratio. And again, we're down so much, I might try to buy this with micros. We're trading micros right now. We are in a volatile market, and Tesla is down a lot. But the S&P, the NASDAQ have dropped a lot over the last couple minutes. And so we might be extended to the downside, although it is a riskier trade. We're going to take 3 contracts max. We're not going to take more than this. Too much risk. I think there's a lot of confirmation bias. I think there's a lot of confirmation bias in the poll options, you know. No, it's just futures. Yeah, people mad at me for doing plugs. Listen, that might be what, like our 4th plug in 3 hours? So 1 plug every hour, seems reasonable to me. If you're complaining about it and it's your first comment, you're probably just trying to hate. It's a good day to you, sir. What will happen with Tesla earnings? I have no idea. I hope they come in favorably. But again, it's really important earnings for sure after all the craziness that happened. Again, we'll see if Tesla holds here. Tesla bouncing back up a little bit here. The NASDAQ still down a lot this morning, so... Yeah, I mean, we're down 40, 50 bucks here. We'll probably end up cutting this. Damn. All right, we're good. That's a dump truck. About to go get the strap, man, and run out there. Oof. All right, we're good. All right, so we're down a little bit. Let's see if Tesla ends up holding. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that loud bang? It was a dump truck, but man. We crack lows, I'll cut this. All right, we got less than 50 minutes before the Jolts report. No, that was a loud bang, like a very loud bang. All right, we're gonna have to cut it. But no, that was a very loud bang. I looked at next door as the dump truck closing, but... All right. What reports do we expect this week? We have the Jolts report later on this afternoon, right? So we do have, or later on this morning. So we do have Jolts report coming out today. We have tomorrow We've got non-farm employment change numbers, so prelim payroll numbers tomorrow, as well as Powell speaking on the economy again tomorrow. He speaks again on the economy. Thursday, we have jobless claims numbers, so unemployment filings week to week. And then Friday, we have non-farm payrolls and unemployment. Big economic data Friday. Next week, we have CPI, PPI, and something else. The week after that, we have earnings. So very busy month or so. We got earnings season sparking back up again. And again, we got the Jolts report coming out today as well here at Team. So we got a lot of stuff happening. And we do have the Jolts report going live. All right, chat. And again, we do have the Jolts report. You know, we got Jolts, jobs. All right, let me switch this. Okay. Forgive me, chat. We are getting the stream ready for the Jolts report that goes live in a couple minutes. There we go. Let me put this up here as well. So we had the Tesla numbers are out. We do have the Jolts report. Which is a big influential report. It will move markets, at least a little bit. We don't know how much, of course. We hope it's in a positive way. But again, the question is, what does the market fear right now? What does the market fear? Does the market fear jobs? Does the market fear more or less jobs? And I think the market probably still fears more jobs. And if the jobs numbers comes in higher than expected, it'll probably cause a negative reaction in markets, I think, here. But again, I'm not 100% sure. You know, again, I'm assuming. Yeah, definitely bad delivery numbers. Yeah, I'm looking at Matthew. Matthew just either makes fun of people or tries to troll. And so, he if you're over 15, bro, reevaluate your life, Matthew. Good day to you, sir. You're not even talking to me, but like still, bro, come on now. Let's be nice. Yeah, Tesla, again, under 400,000 delivery numbers. Dude, what's going on? Just woke up, pre-market stumping. Well, market was bearish ahead of the Tesla meeting, or ahead of the Tesla delivery numbers, but then Tesla reported, so the expected numbers originally started at 471s or so for Tesla deliveries. They adjusted it to about 450s, and then they showed up today at 380s. 386, 387. So way lower than expected Tesla delivery numbers. It's causing Tesla to dip. And really, the whole market in anticipation of this was dropping down. My guess is getting baked into the potential negative outcome. Nvidia's down to 885s right now, 885s. Yeah. This was, yeah, so this delivery number, these delivery numbers were first quarter delivery numbers. No, I just short the futures market, Courtney. Courtney says, do you play SQ when the markets are down? No, I just short the futures market. So we just short. In the futures market, you can essentially, like what you see on screen right now, like this is the QQQ price action. So like this is the same thing as the Q, but this is futures. The reason you should trade futures, there's no PDT rule. You can day trade, short, all that good stuff in futures. If I put the QQQ up, it's the same price action. So here's the Q. And here's the NASDAQ 100. The Q tracks the NASDAQ 100 futures contracts, right? So what the Q actually tracks is this here. What it really is looking at is the NASDAQ 100, but the NASDAQ 100, which is NDX, is not open in pre-market. And so if you pull up NDX here, it's not open in pre. So what this is on the left side is it's the futures contract, which is open in pre-market. It is open. And when the NASDAQ 100 opens at market open, it'll correct to what is shown here on the left, if that makes sense, just so you can understand what's going on. But yeah, Tesla down to 162s here, chat. 162s. I trade futures. Again, I'm not going to plug it again. We've already done a plug. You can check links in the description. It shows. But I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to go to the restroom. Just to give you guys a little game to play. You guys can call me Jimothy if I don't make it back in time. Alright, the expected Jolts number is 8.8 million. Answer in chat. Again, I'm going to give myself a timer. If I take longer than 9:23, you can call me Jimothy for the rest of the day. I'll be back, guys. We're back. Barely in time, too. It is now 57, 58, 59, 9:23. So we barely made it back, but we are back. No Jimothy for me today. All right. All right, let's see what the chat said. Beginner trading. Based on this Tesla number today and demand for EVs in general, I expect bad financials for the first half of Tesla. What do you think? Maybe. Certainly plausible. I'm not sure if it's going to, but certainly I would say it's certainly possible. Depending on when Nvidia pulls back some too, we might get bearish action in markets. All right, but get ready, guys. We do have the Jolts report live at 10 o'clock today, chat. 10 o'clock. 8.8 million is what they're expecting. 8.8 mil. Okay. Let's see how I save this. There we go. Yeah, definitely red morning for sure so far. It's not anything that's like the end of the world. What's really dragging the market down outside of Tesla is Nvidia. Nvidia down to 880. And again, if Nvidia starts to really correct, that's a different story completely. Although Nvidia still looks mostly fine. Like if we look at Nvidia right now, it's at 882s. And so let's take a look at what this candle will look like. 882s is right here. So like this, here, let's clear all of this stuff out. Nvidia is currently here. Right, so we'll edit this, we'll make this big. This is where Nvidia currently is right here. So when we zoom out, Nvidia is still pretty sideways over the last month and a half, like over the last 30 days, Nvidia is still pretty sideways. It hasn't really gone up or down in a big way. It's been definitely pulling back, but on a daily chart, it's been down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So again, I'm not sure what we're gonna get. We are pulling back to an interesting level. I think 875 is a milestone level, but again, we'll have to wait and see what happens. We got about 3 minutes until the opening bell, chat. And again, remember, we do have the Jolts report at 10. Jolts report at 10 a.m. Big report. Jolts is pretty big. It'll move markets. All right, 2 minutes, chat. Oil is up. Oil report tomorrow. Oil man, everything is set up for higher prices. Not good. They keep cutting production in the war. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Oil is doing okay. It's one thing in my portfolio that has been rising since the new year. Very nicely. Jolts shouldn't be anything. I don't know what they're going to be. Nobody really does either. Trying to guess what they're going to be is a very risky thing. Again, Nvidia finally starting to pop back up a little bit. Tesla bouncing back to 164 or 165 almost. So we'll see if Tesla has a rebound from the bad delivery numbers. All right, chat, less than a minute. Less than a minute. So there's the opening bell, chat. We are open now in markets. The S&P 500 is now open. The NASDAQ is now open. Initially downward action. Tesla over the VWAP, over 165, pushing towards 166. We'll see if that helps markets. Nvidia up to 885s, pushing back towards 890s after a really bearish pre-market. We'll see what happens here, though. We still got some time. Jolts report does come out in less than 30 minutes now. So we'll see what happens on that front. But yeah, y'all be ready. Again, starting to push up a little bit for Nvidia, although Tesla is starting to retrace a little bit under the volume-weighted average price. Tesla at 166. Nvidia up to all the way back up to 888. Looks strong. And I do believe the momentum was probably on the upside. We've dropped so much here. I guess we'll buy this on the NASDAQ and try to day trade this here. A little bit early for me to trade, though. Oof. Yeah, I'm going to have to cut this most likely, too. I don't like this at all. Big red action. Looks like I got out of that just in time. But big drops. Again, look at the Nvidia turn. Look at the Tesla turn here. So Jolts report in about 30 minutes. We will short this too if we get some good action here, just because everything kind of looks red. All right, so we're in 2 contracts here. 3 now. See, now Tesla's coming back up. Yeah, we are getting chopped out today. It might be choppiness heading into the open, but we'll see. I want to give this time. There goes Tesla back under the VWAP here. Although Nvidia, which does lead the market, is starting to move back up some. I'm going to lower the size, even though we're pretty close to flat. I'm going to lower the size, protect the trade a little bit. Yeah, Nvidia's starting to come back down. Took half off there, protected it a little bit. Tesla retracing back up though. Very flat open, in all honesty. I'm going to go ahead and cut this, I think. Nvidia testing this high and Tesla testing these VWAP level is enough to make me want to exit that. Alright, so Nvidia coming back down is probably going to drag this down, I think, if it can stay down here. Tesla very flat at the opening bell, though. But definitely a red open. Or definitely a red morning so far. Gonna short this a little bit, 2 contracts here. See if we get like an abrupt rejection, but it could also just chop sideways. Here we go. A little bit better. I'm gonna cut that there. So not bad. Got a little bit of gains in there. See if we can string some wins together. Tesla around lows. Alright, took half off, locked it in. Maybe add to this too if it looks weak. Yeah, we'll add to it. Good. Took half off there. Alright, made a little bit there on that trade. Got out before it ripped back up. But let's watch Nvidia here. Nvidia's hitting the volume weighted average price. So Nvidia still looks very sideways. Tesla's under the VWAP, so I guess I'm more bearish on Tesla. But Nvidia just rejected that level here too. So we'll short this now. There we go. Alright, we took a little piece of it off. We're adding to this. Tesla's testing lows. So. Okay, they're just faking me out, bouncing right back. Let's see if we retrace quickly here. Both of those rejected here around that level. We'll add a little bit more, see if we can play with this. We're coming down about flat. We're looking less flat now. Tesla coming back down, but Nvidia's still looking okay. I'm gonna take half of this off, or at least a third of this off, just because Nvidia still looks very strong and it's starting to push towards the VWAP, so we're gonna get out and lose there. Flat since the opening bell, but again, I think the whole market might be waiting for Jolts, so we should probably size down a little bit now. Yeah, Rivian dropped delivery numbers today too. I don't think they did well from them, though. See, it's interesting. The NASDAQ is down big, but the S&P is not down much. Tesla back down under 164 is looking weak. Nvidia is still testing the top of the range though, so it really depends on what Nvidia does here. I mean, I've been day trading and investing for 8 years now. 7, 8 years. All right, Tesla going back up now. Nvidia's going back down. Very choppy day, chat. Could be just Jolts report related with the big jobs report coming out at 10. Market's kind of slow. Not really much action or pressure coming through. Nvidia now dumping down. Although Tesla's bouncing back up a little bit. Ten-year yield up. Yeah, bonds are going up right now, just especially with all the uncertainty in markets. So again, the Nasdaq's still flushing down here, looking weak. Nvidia's cracking lows though, chat. So Nvidia's breaking down big. See if it retraces back up. Tesla's trying to get back over the VWAP here. Very flat, though, and sideways. Big drop. Yeah, Nvidia under 880s. Nasdaq flushing. Yeah, market's down a lot today for sure. Maybe Tesla will finally bounce back. It's down so much. Nvidia on the bottom chart. Or on the top right chart. Consolidating after breaking lows. But again, we'll see if it bounces back. We got to give it time, I think. Market's not crashing, Sean. Crashing's a big word, man. The market might be bearish, but there's a difference between a 1% day and a 30% day. Crash is like 20, 30%. Today is like a what? How much is the market down today? Let me look. Might be like 2%. So SPY is dropping from about 522s to 517s percentage-wise. Today's drop is a 0.95% drop. So Yeah, we're just not crashing. We're down, certainly down, but we're not crashing by any means. And, you know, again, we're just down. It's just red. Tesla started to bounce back, though. Market does this often, pre-market early in the week. Yeah, I mean, again, what we see a lot is corrections heading into the delivery numbers, and then maybe we get like rebounds. It just depends, right? The Tesla delivery numbers aren't helping, Sean. Nvidia's correcting down a little bit today as well. Nvidia's at 880s. Again, we got some economic data dropping in 15 minutes. You know, the market might be fearing that economic report, the Jolts report, big report number. Again, the Jolts job report is a big influential report that comes out in about 17, 18 minutes here, chat. So we do have this big report coming out soon. We already had Tesla delivery numbers that showed up that certainly caused negative market response. And so again, today we got the Jolts report also coming out. 8.8 million is what's expected for it. Job opening report can have such an impact. It definitely does have some impact. I mean, we can argue of whether the impact's big or not, but it can definitely have somewhat of an impact for sure. The whales took profit and are spending a good time laughing all the way to the bank. Market has no steam without the whales. Yeah, maybe that's what's going on. "15 minutes before the Jolts report drops too, chat, so we still got a little bit of time. Let's see if the market wants to rebound. Nvidia bouncing up, Tesla moving up a little bit. We are seeing some rebounds here, Chad. So we are seeing some bounce backs. I don't know what we're going to get for the data report. I really don't know. I hope it comes in optimistic and favorable. I don't know what the market wants is the real question. No, like the market might want more jobs. They might want less jobs. I don't know what the market really wants here. You know, again, it could be either one. If we're believing Powell, the market might want economic growth here. You know, so if we're believing Jerome Powell, the market could want economic growth. And I don't know. I don't necessarily believe that. I think the market still could fear jobs because it means more spending and more inflation problems. And with a Fed that's very dead set on cutting rates this year, I think more economic growth in terms of jobs can be seen as a negative, less good thing. You know what I mean? So, again, the expectation is 8.8 million for the Jolts report. I don't know what we're going to get. I hope it's optimistic and good. But again, I really don't know. And yeah, time will tell. You know, time will tell. Again, 8.8 million is what's expected. We'll see what the numbers show up as. You know. All right, so we're looking a little bit more bearish here. I guess I'm going to short a little bit here on the regular NASDAQ. We'll scale into maybe 2 to 3 contracts, maybe 4. Of the micros, that is. We're not trading the normal. Alright. Alright, we're going to take a little bit off there. There we go. Take a little bit more off there, lock that in. Just kind of day trading today. We are down a little bit today for sure. So we can maybe pull back a little bit, add to it. It depends on what Tesla and Nvidia does right here. Again, Nvidia very flat. Not a surprise with the Jolts report coming out today. We'll add a little bit more to this here. See if we drop. There we go. Take a little bit more off there. Lock that in and get out the rest before it pops. All right, so we're scalping a little bit today. More jobs equal less chance of cutting rates. I think we're going to cut rates no matter what the numbers show, to be honest here. Personally, I think that's what's going to happen. I think we're going to cut rates regardless of anything. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. All right, chat, we got about a minute and a half left. Or no, I'm sorry. We got about 10 and a half minutes left. They have to. I can't find a house. Everything is overpriced. Yeah, I mean, a lot of mortgage guys are desperate because interest rates are high. You know, a lot of them made a lot of money 3 years ago, and then interest rates skyrocketed, and now they're at 8%, and they can't do any business, and they're struggling. In the end, it is what it is. Like, they might be ready for the Fed to start cutting rates, ending QT, and bringing interest rates back down. I still think it's a little bit early. I think inflation is still sticky, and I think doing it too early is going to make inflation problems worse, personally. But, it's really nuanced. I think we'll probably start cutting rates in June, and I don't know how I feel about a June cut, but I'd rather them June than, last month or next month. Nobody wants to sell their home after seeing how much their house is worth now. Well, nobody wants to sell a home specifically because, okay, so you sell your home, if you do want to get another mortgage, mortgages are at 8%. And if you talk to real estate agents or mortgage people, they'll be like, oh, well, you can always refinance later, acting like there's no consequences to that. Of course there are. Nobody wants to do that multiple times. Again, down payments, all this stuff is just, it's not worth it. A lot of mortgage and real estate people will just tell you it's always a great time to buy a house, but they're just confirmation bias. They need to do business, right? So they're going to tell you it's always a great sign. I have my real estate license, but I'm not one of those people. And again, I'm not giving out real estate advice or really marketing myself as an agent. I just think that it's not a great time to buy a house right now. The conventional appeal of home buying is that you could get a home, pay less in mortgage than you are going to pay in rent. And that conventional appeal is no longer true with 8% interest rates. And who knows when the rates are actually going to go down. The Fed, Jerome Powell, is talking about ending QT and cutting rates this year. But, those are short-term rates. Who knows how long it's going to take for those rates to trickle into mortgages and auto financing and stuff like that. So, you're going to be paying much, much more for the time being until rates go down. And again, I think a lot of that is under the assumption that rates are going to go down soon, and I don't necessarily think that. I think it might be longer. And again, that might not be what people want to hear or whatever, but 6% commission in what? In real estate? 3% to each side is fair. But again, I'm. All right, chat. 7 minutes here, chat. 7 minutes. We'll try to buy this up now too. And again, I know a lot of you guys see me day trading. Like, my channel is mostly an economic reports channel. Like, we day trade, like, we swing trade, we invest. We do a little bit of everything, but currently day trading on Apex. Jolts report comes out in 6 minutes, though, so we're going to have to cut this. There we go. I'm going to take half of this off, lock it in. Take the other half off up there. Just trying to slowly chip away. 6% commission the seller pays is crazy. Well, the whole thing with this contract is, like, in real estate, it has to be negotiable, right? But there's this thing that's been going on for the last, like, long time where it's almost always 6%. 3% to the buyer, 3% to the seller. You know, the problem, though, is that, like, you know, like, like, people that sell the homes complain, but you have to understand, like, you have to pay the buyer agent commission, right? Like, the buyer's agent, you have to pay their commission for the most part, or you're not going to be able to really find an agent that's willing to show your house. And that's what all of this has to do with, the lawsuit with NAR and all of that. That's what it all has to do with, is, you know, the 3% standard commission, which it's not allowed to. It has to be negotiable in real estate law. And that's where the National Association of Realtors ran into trouble. Because every deal I've ever done as a real estate agent has been at 3%, you know, 3% each. But again, home sellers that want to get around real estate agents, like, I get it. But again, you're going to have a hard time finding an agent that wants to show your home with, you know, or because essentially when you say, hey, I don't want to pay a realtor, you're basically looking for a buyer's agent to do both sides of that deal. You know, they're going to have to write the contracts on both sides and everything like that, and it's going to be twice as much work for the buyer's agent. Many buyer's agents are not going to want to do it if you're not going to pay, you know, if you don't have a seller's agent to work with. And so it's like, I get it, people want to be cheap in that way, but, you know, they don't really understand real estate like that most of the time. Anyways, we got 4 minutes, chat. 4 minutes before the Jolts report goes live. No, they don't. Most of the time, Snap, most of the time they're not giving them the other 3%. The reason the seller is skimping on, you know, a seller's agent is because they don't want to pay the seller's agent commission, right? So they're not going to give that to the buyer. They're going to keep that and try to make the buyer, for the same amount, do both sides of the contract, right? And it's just not, you know, again, it comes from a lack of understanding. Can you trade on Apex during these reports? So on Apex, there's rules against trading the news, but you can trade your normal strategies, from my understanding, during the news releases. You just can't, like, go really big size and look for big swings and profit from the news. Like, you have to trade your normal strategies, from my understanding, although you want to check with them to be sure. I'm a real estate agent, Snap, you know. And yes, I've bought, you know, a home before. NASDAQ sideways here. Here we go. 3 minutes, guys. 3 minutes. So I guess my point is that I've written contracts, you know, and I know what happens whenever a seller doesn't want to pay the seller's agent commission, you know. All right, chat. You guys ready? 2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes. Whew. All right. All right, guys. Let's do this. Two minutes, chat. 2 minutes. Hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure you're fully caught up. We got Jolts going live today. Be ready, chat. Be ready. Jolts report going live today. Tomorrow, we've got Powell speaking again on the economy. We also have non-farm employment data. Thursday, we got jobless claims. Friday, we got payroll numbers, non-farm payrolls, NFP, and unemployment numbers. So a lot of stuff dropping this week. Busy week. Next week's busy. We got CPI and PPI as well. A minute and a half, Chad. A minute and a half. And again, hit the sub button, hit the notification bell. We appreciate the love. Thanks so much. Let's keep the growth up, chat. About a minute left, chat. About a minute left. We've been mostly sideways in the NASDAQ. NVIDIA's been mostly sideways. Tesla's been mostly sideways also. Here we go. Expectation is 8.8 million. 8.8 million for the Jolts report. Well, last time it came in at 8.9. This time they're expecting 8.8. Higher than 8.8 will be a more jobs, more economic growth. Lower than 8.8 will mean less jobs, less economic growth. And again, I think the market right now doesn't want that. But again, I might be wrong here, Chad. I might be wrong. Let me know right now. We got less than a minute what you think the market wants today. And we'll see. What would the Jolts report show up as, chat? Again, we got we got about 30 seconds left. 30 seconds. $20, chat. Hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure you're fully caught up on stream here. Here we go. Jolts report goes live soon. 8.8 million is what's expected. 5 seconds. All right, here we go. And there's the report. Factory orders came in at 1.4 million. Jolts came in almost exactly as expected. Lower than expected, slightly lower, but almost exactly as expected at 8.756 million. 8.756 million. So again, slightly lower than expected. Slightly lower than expected. Again, we cover this news fast. Slightly lower than expected for Jolts. 8.756 million versus 8.76 million expected. Basically a flat report here, a neutral report for Jolts. Essentially flat. And so again, we'll put the number up on screen, but essentially this is flat reading. This is basically neutral report. 8.756 versus 8.75 expected. I showed some that showed 8.8, 8.76. So again, essentially flat, basically sideways numbers here, chat. And the market is mostly sideways from this report. Did y'all hear that? Damn. Yeah, market's mostly flat here, chat. Yeah, neutral report. What do you guys think? Do you guys think this is good or bad for markets right now, chat? Good or bad for markets? I guess we're going to short this. There we go. We're green so far on this trade. Took half off, locked it in a little bit. Retracing back up some here, although I'm still kind of bearish. All right, we took another half off there, locked that in. We'll give it a little bit more time to day trade. Again, we were trading on Apex funded account programs. They give you a demo, they test your skill. If you can pass the test, they fund you. If you can't pass the test, you're probably going to lose less than you would putting the money up yourself. There's no PDT in futures. We're going to get out that there. So we lost that. So again, we've been green over the last few minutes. We're red on the day for sure. But again, my risk is limited. You know, if I lose the funded account program, this one's a 50K combine, so I'm out, or a 50K challenge, so I'm out like $40. This one cost me $40. What they do is they give me a demo and they test my skill. They give me a 50K demo. If I can hit 3K in profit without losing, I think the ratio, let me see what the ratio is. So yeah, on the 50K one, if I can, and the 80% off sale ends today, if I can make, I'm already funded, right? So they give me 50K demo account. I got to make 3,000 in profit without losing 2.5K. So a reasonable ratio.
As you can follow their rules, they fund me 50K, and that's what I'm funded in right now. That's the account that you see me trading, is a 50K account. And the great part is if I lose, I'm only out 40 bucks. If I'm past it, I got a 90% split. Now that I'm funded, I have a 90% split. I get to keep my first 25K in profit as well. Again, there's no PDT in futures. Great way to help support the channel. They are a sponsor of mine, though. I'm biased. You know, they pay me money. I'm biased in their favor. But if you want to check them out, great way to help support the channel. There's the link. My other sponsor is a company called Chart Prime. It's a trading view service you could use in stocks, crypto, forex, futures. I forgot to pull them up today. I should have, though. I always try to backtest this live, like on stream, so people can kind of see, you know, my live, like, backtesting results. So here's Chart Prime today. Let's put them up. I haven't looked at this at all today, so you're going to see my honest look. Again, they're not always going to work. You know, nothing does. But I think it's genuinely impressive if you actually test this yourself. Like, check it out. So let's backtest the last couple days on Chart Prime. This is a 5-minute chart on the NASDAQ. Sell signal, beautiful drop. And these do not repaint. Strong buy signal, beautiful bounce. Sell signal, beautiful drop. Strong buy signal definitely worked. Sell signal definitely worked. This one didn't work, so that's 1. Beautiful sell signal here. Broke down for a long time. Look at the buy signal. Literally call the bottom. Follow through bounce. Strong sell signal here. Beautiful dip. Buy signal. You got a nice little follow through. Sell signal. You got a nice little follow through. Strong buy signal. You got a nice little follow through. So again, and I can't guarantee any of these are going to work. They are a sponsor. I see one that didn't work that I can tell. Maybe some of these other ones didn't work. I'm not 100% sure, but I see one that didn't work so far. Strong buy or strong sell signal worked. Buy signal worked. Strong sell signal worked. Strong buy signal worked. And look at this sell signal. Literally called the top of this bearish run. Look at this. And then the impressive thing is that no other one showed up. So really, I only see maybe 1, maybe 2 that didn't work out of what, like 15 or more. That's genuinely impressive. Again, though, I can't guarantee you're going to make money. Nobody can. You can use this on an hourly chart, on a 1-minute chart. I can't guarantee they're gonna work. They have oscillators, screeners, back testers. So just test it out yourself. Here's an hourly chart. And again, on the hourly chart, every candle represents an hour here. So longer term, look at this. Strong sell signal for days of breakdowns. Strong buy signal here. Nice little rip up here. I have to check the hourly chart a little bit more. That's genuinely impressive. But again, they are a sponsor of mine. I'm biased because they pay me money. It's a company called Chart Prime. I'll put this link up here. You can check it out. And again, I'm biased in both of my sponsors' favor because they pay me money. I'm biased. You can check them out here. With that said, though, guys, remember, tomorrow, chat, we do have Powell speaking. We do have the non-farm employment change data. So we have non-farm prelim data, not prelim payrolls. And then we also have Powell speaking at noon. So a very busy day tomorrow, chat. A very, very busy day. Y'all be good. Y'all be safe. And, yeah, we'll see what happens. Do you guys think... Here's a big question today. Do you think the market rebounds today from the bearish open we've had? Does the market rebound from the bearish open? I don't personally know. I think it's possible. But do you think we rebound from the bearish open we've had, chat? Also, remember, if you use Apex, BT is the promo code. It'll get you the max discount. The link is right there. You get 40% off if you use my link up there. Highline. 50-50 rebound tomorrow. Again, the link is in the description. It's called Chart Prime. My promo code will get you 40%. Rivian bouncing back a little bit since a bearish open. The SPY turning, though, under the VWAP here. This looks red. Snow trying. AMD breaking down some. Where's gold at? Is gold moving? Gold is moving up. Gold ripping up, breaking highs today. Interesting. Gold's moving up now. Tesla, no rebound, I guess. Yeah, I'm looking at NVIDIA. NVIDIA all the way down at 883s. Tesla at 166. So Tesla down a lot from the delivery numbers. But it's bounced back a little bit since the opening bell. NVIDIA was having a red morning. And it's kind of consolidating, looking more reddish, though. But, again, very flat day so far. We got a lot of Fed speakers today, though, guys. Remember, we got Michelle Bowman speaking at 10:10. We've got Loretta Mester speaking at 12:05. We got Mary Daly, San Francisco Fed president, at 1:30 Eastern. So, you know, we got a lot of Fed speakers again. I think we go back to last week's levels. If we look at oil is up a little bit in the last couple minutes. Bitcoin down a lot. So, we'll see. I'm going to get out of here, guys. Y'all be safe. I appreciate the love. Thanks so much for the support, chat. We'll see you guys a little bit later. Y'all be good in these markets. Be safe. Again, tomorrow, big day, big market day. We got a lot of stuff going on. I'll see you guys later. Y'all be safe. Be good, team. Later, chat.